The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 461. Been recorded on June the 24th, 2024. I am one of your hosts, Jesus Gonzalez, also known as Jesus Rockstar. Today I'm joined by my co-host from the West Coast, the best coast, the Gunny Chief Henley Mayo is back. Welcome back, Henley. Welcome.
Hey, everybody. It's been nice. I had 5 days off. Jesus, very relaxed. Went to Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. It was nice.
I saw that. It was very nice photo you took there. Yeah. And from Little Big Ohio, he's back, ladies and gentlemen. The Mayo, Steve Willer, is back finally after being gone for like 6 months. Where you been, Steve?
Yeah, I've been out working hard. Like,
you've been working hard.
Real life like stuff, huh? Yeah.
IRL. This is IRL talk.
Yeah, this is IRL talk. Doing all that.
Oh man,
7-day work weeks and all that fun stuff.
That sounds lame. No one wants to listen to you talk about work.
No.
Right? Yeah.
Boo,
it's the work podcast. Ooh.
At least started off with I modified the Camaro.
Yeah.
Hey,
now it does 500 miles an hour.
Camaro, so yeah, right.
You got 800 horsepower yet on that thing?
I wish. It is very loud, though. It sounds like it has 800 horsepower.
Nice. Yeah, what did I see? I saw a video the other day. It was a YouTube, like a Reels on Facebook or something. And it said something about the world's fastest track hawk versus a GTR or something like that.
Oh,
And I was like, that can't be the world's fastest track hawk. There ain't no fucking way that's the world's fastest track hawk.
That looks pretty fast in that video.
I mean, at first it blew like off the launch. It left the GTR behind, of course. But that GTR definitely caught up to after like a bit. That thing fucking flew past the Trackhawk. I was like, yeah, of course that GTR is gonna beat it. That thing's like way lighter than that fucking SUV, dude. What were you thinking?
Those Trackhawks make a lot of power. They're pretty fast.
Yeah,
they got the Hellcat motors in them, but they're like they make them to like 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
So I mean, but the GTRs, like there's one running around here that actually it's like 1,500 horsepower at the wheels.
Yeah,
it's got like a parachute on the back and everything.
That's pretty fucking nuts. That's fucking crazy.
I was actually at the races last Saturday. Actually, they had an open night for anybody could go in and drag race.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like just mix of cars there. There was a GTR there. It was like had a chrome wrap on it, but he did not race.
Yeah,
but it was neat to see some of the cars run.
Nice. Anyways, you can follow us on the X @_horrible gamers. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts if you may, or on Spotify. Also, thumbs up on Stitcher. And best of all, first and foremost, share us with your friends and family. You know, what's a better gift than the gift of the Horrible Gamers to your friends and family during this summertime? Yeah. Just gift us. We're free. So it's a pretty cheap gift. But yeah, you give us away to your friends. Yay. Also, a big shout out to the Patreon machines over at patreon.com/horrible games to support the show with the monies. Like our friends, let me find them real quick. Jason Sams, Robert Noble, Chad, Gunny, Dark Arisen Ruler over Edmund, Dragonsbane, Baby Mode. Pork Chop Who, big shout out to Pork Chop Who, he's been around forever now. Nipron, best HGP host ever. Evan Bamboo Master Tanaka, he also gets a shout out because I know he'll call me out if I don't give him one. All right, he's going to be like, well, why you give Pork Chop Who a shout out and not me? I know, Evan, it's okay. You get a shout out too, okay? And Bill Garner II, the Elden Lord. That's it. It's the Elden Lord.
The Elden Lord. It's Elden Lord week.
It's Elden Lord week. Is that what it is now?
It is.
Okay. Well,
Shadow of the Erd Tree. Are you tarnished, Jesus? You're not.
I'm not. I don't play that shit. Fuck that game.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, nope.
Big shout out to all of them for being Patreon machines and giving the show ad free. And a big shout out to Phantom Inc. for the intro music and Broke for Free for the outro music to the podcast. Now let's get to talking about what we've been playing, stuff's been going on in our lives, etc. So last week was my birthday, as you all may or may not have known. I spoke about it on the last show. My birthday was on the 18th, Gunny. And man, dude.
What did you do? What did you get?
So listen, we went
How
out.
did you
we went
celebrate?
I mean, I didn't know this, but my girlfriend actually booked a reservation for Portland City Grill, which is like a restaurant on the It's in Portland. It's on the U.S. Bancorp Tower. It's on the 30th floor or whatever. So it's pretty high up there, and it's like this like fancy restaurant or whatever. But it's really nice actually. So we went up there. We had a 3-course meal or 4-course meal, really fancy, but it was fucking packed. But thankfully, we had a reservation, and we got a window seat, so we got like a nice view. And man, that shit was good. I had some steak. Listen, Gunny, I had some fucking steak.
Taters. Did you ask
Hell
for
yeah.
nachos up there while you were there?
They did not have nachos on. No, the menu was like a pre-selected menu. It was like, this is the menu we have for tonight, and this is what we're doing. And the thing with the restaurant was packed, and there was people calling like, "Hey, do you guys have reservations? Or you guys have availability?" And they're like, we're all booked up. Sorry. And but yeah, anyways, the menu was a pre-selected menu or whatever, so you kind of have like, you either choose this or this. And but yeah, we had some calamari as our appetizer. That shit was fucking fire. And then we had me some steak, mashed potatoes with asparagus.
You didn't have no snails, no escargot.
No. And then for dessert, I had me a cheesecake. It was fucking good, dude. I'm just saying, it was fucking delicious. All right, and it was pretty pricey though. Shout out to my girlfriend. She spent a lot of money that night. It was not a cheap dinner, dude. It was not a cheap dinner. It was very pricey. But
she could have taken you to Jack in the Box, but she splurged on you. That's awesome.
Yeah, no shit. She taking me to Carl's Jr. or something, and she took me here, and it was awesome. It was amazing. On top of that, we went to another place. Sometime, I don't know if it was on Father's Day. I think maybe Father's Day we went to that place, and then a different day, maybe my birthday, we went to a different place, which was a Brazilian steakhouse in Portland. It was called Fogo de Chao, and that place was fucking good, dude. So it's pretty much like you go there, right, and you they have like I would say a buffet style like thing set up in the middle, and they tell you, okay, you can go there and grab whatever the fuck is there and eat as much as you want. So like we kind of went during like brunch time, so they had like salad and like omelets and waffles and random shit that was right there in the middle, right? And then they said you have this little token. They give you like a little token thing, and it's like, all right, this is the red side and this is the green side. There's people walking around with like these like fucking meat on like these sticks, and they're like, all right, the guys who walk around with the meat, they will not approach your table if you have a red the red part facing up. But if you flip it over to the green side, they'll approach your table and they'll ask you if you want whatever fucking meat they have. So like, dude, I ate so much fucking meat that day, dude. They had like all kinds of shit, Gunny. They had lamb, they had pork, they had fucking prime rib, they have fucking steak, they had all kinds of shit. They just walk up to you and like, would you try some of this? I was like, yeah, sure.
That's awesome.
And then
something like that here in Ohio as well, and it's like all you can eat.
Yeah, dude, it's all you can eat.
All you can eat, yeah.
Fuck, dude. I mean, it was kind of pricey. I'm not gonna lie. It was like almost $80 a person or something, but it was fucking good though.
I've never been to a place like that. The only ones I've ever really been to that were, I don't know what you would call them. And I think I've heard you describe them too, Mayo. It's just where you gather all your ingredients and then they kind of cook it for you, kind of like a Benihana, but
like a Benihana's, yeah.
But yeah, it's not where they make it in front of you. You have to go up to the guy that's doing the whole grilling and doing acrobats with your food, but he does the actual cooking. I like those.
Yeah.
We have
me personally.
I think it's a Mediterranean grill or something like that. It's called BD's.
Yeah.
And then you just go into, it's like a buffet. You get all your stuff and you put it in a bowl. You pick your meats and you pick your toppings and all that stuff. And then they go over to this big circular, grill type thing. And they put all your stuff that you pick on there. And there's like 10 people with you. Like all your food's kind of like separated. And they cook it there in front of you. Then they get it back to you on a plate. Then you go back and sit down. And then they bring you a separate cup of like rice and stuff. And you mix it all together. Then you can make like lettuce wraps. They bring you like lettuce. And then you can turn it into lettuce wraps or just eat it plain. But you can do like an all you can eat, like where you can go up multiple times, or you can do a thing where you only go up like one time, and then you basically get one really big bowl. It just depends how much you can pack in there, So
I like those.
It was fucking good though, man. That Brazilian place, I was so fucking full, man. And then the other place, I was really full too. I was really full last week. We ate out quite a bit, and it was fucking awesome. But I had a lot of steaks, dude. I sort of got like steak like 4 times last week. I think it was awesome. It was like the best.
Easy
week
on the
ever.
red meat, my friend.
Nah, fuck it. I don't care.
Awesome.
Steak
I love
every
steak.
day for me.
I gotta have at least one every week.
Oh man, it's so good. So
Yeah, I think I'm
fucking
gonna go to a
good.
steakhouse on Saturday this week. My birthday is this week, and
Happy
Nice.
birthday, Mayo!
yeah,
You
yeah,
are
big
40 years
48,
young.
48. Yeah,
Whoa,
48.
you're almost catching up to me, buddy.
Dang,
yeah,
Mayo. For
working
2
on
more
it.
years and you're gonna be ancient, Mayo.
Yeah, well, I already am. But yeah, this restaurant, it's like a roadhouse, and it's like a small one, and they have a
Yeah.
26-ounce cowboy steak, and it's like
Ooh.
$25. It's really good. But if you go up on
Yeah,
Saturdays, they have these really big cheeseburgers, and from like noon to 4, you get these big cheeseburgers like a Five Guys burger, but like taller,
Yeah.
and a big thing of fries for like $6. It's crazy cheap.
Yeah.
But
There's a steakhouse right around the corner from my house, and we went there a while back. We took my girlfriend's cousin for his birthday, and he ended up ordering the most expensive thing on the menu, which was the fucking tomahawk, and that shit was epic. I was like, oh
yeah.
fuck, I wish I would have got one of those, but I was like, I can't outdo the birthday guy. So I let him enjoy this one, but it looked fucking good, man. It was like a big ass tomahawk, dude. It was like I think it was like $130 for it or something.
Damn, I've
It was
heard of it.
expensive. It was expensive, but it was like they brought that thing out, man. It had a big ass bone. It was like a cartoon, man. Like a big ass steak with like a big ass bone sticking out of it, dude. They fucking bring it out to
Like the
you.
Flintstones here.
Yeah,
What's going on?
that's what it
Brontosaurus.
literally it looked like a fucking Flintstones cartoon. Dude. I was like, what the fuck? That
Oh,
thing
I've
was
seen that on
huge.
YouTube.
That shit was huge. I was like, what the fuck?
They do those food challenges.
Yeah, but that steakhouse is really fucking good. We like to go there every once in a while, and it's kind of pricey, but it's really fucking good.
You know my
But
favorite,
anyways,
Jesus, and I text you guys every time. It's whenever I go to my local steakhouse. But there's like, I don't know, there's probably like 8 of them,
yeah,
around the North Bay of California. They're called Cattlemen's.
Cattleman's nice.
Cattleman's Steakhouse. They're really
I
good.
think, I
We
think the
always go
one
like
around
during an occasion, a birthday or something.
I think the one around here is called Sanford's or something like that. Stanford's, something like that. But yeah, man. There's another place that I found out about in Portland. I forget what it was called, but it looks like a really expensive steakhouse too. And I'm like, I need to go there. I've tried all these other ones.
Now you're a foodie.
Nah, now I gotta go here and try this one. Oh shit, man! There's a lot of good places, a lot of expensive places in Portland, to be honest. But they're really fucking good, really fucking good. Yeah. Anyways, besides
Now
all
we made
that,
everybody hungry.
I know, right? Besides all that, I have been playing some games this week. Of course, I played a little bit more of Call of Duty. I've been playing that on my PS5, kind of, just launching it here and there, playing it. It's Call of Duty. Still, it's the same shit. I mean, what the fuck? There's nothing different to it. Besides that, I've been playing with my Steam Deck a little bit more. I've been playing a lot of Bomber Crew on my Steam Deck. It's my Bomber Crew machine right now. That thing runs fucking awesome on there. It runs really good. No issues. And Steam Deck can surprisingly handle a lot of things you throw at it, dude. I mean, you'd be surprised how well it can handle like Cyberpunk and how well it can handle certain other titles that you would never, ever think this little fucking shit can handle these fucking things. Like, no way. But it can. And it does a really good job at it. Now the only thing that I do wish is that like somehow Call of Duty and Xbox and Activision got together with Steam and figured out how to like bring Call of Duty and their anti-cheat to work with the Steam Deck Linux fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
But
I
that's
don't
still-
understand. Like, it doesn't have to be like why does it have to be a Windows thing? I guess it would probably have to,
I
just
don't
because
know. It's whatever
make
the
it
anti-cheat
work
is.
with multiplayer, right? It would be that Windows
And I
fucking
still
code
haven't-
versus Linux.
I still haven't gotten around to downloading the Windows software for my fucking Steam Deck. I kind of don't want to because I kind of like just having the vanilla shit on there and making it just works, you know. So, but I mean, I could probably do that and get it to work, which I know I could. But fuck, do I want to go through all this and fucking download
Yeah, I wonder,
this
does
thing and
Battlefield work
install
on a
this?
Steam Deck? Jesus,
No,
you
it
think?
doesn't. No.
I figured it wouldn't be. Yeah.
No, because it'll download it and you can kind of launch it, but it'll say launch failed, and then it'll say something about battle cheat, fucking whatever, battle eye, or
Battle Eye,
whatever.
yeah.
Anti-cheat shit won't let you launch it or something. It says, "Oh, I won't let you launch it." It's like, okay, fuck.
If you would have got an
okay,
Asus ROG, you wouldn't have had those
yeah,
issues.
whatever. I don't really fucking care.
No,
I
it's a
don't
great.
care.
I guess my question is what, like, I wonder who is the person over at Valve that certifies these games. Like, I mean, once the game is, Steam Deck playable, ready, whatever they call it, like, I
Yeah.
wonder, do they need to enlarge the team to make it more
I don't
games
know.
more compatible faster? I
I
mean,
don't know how that works.
yeah. And what's nice now is even on my desktop Steam application on my PC, where it'll even tell me on the right hand side, it'll say, hey, this game works with with a Steam Deck. I guess because it already
Yeah.
knows that I own one, which is nice.
Yeah, it does
I
it
don't
for
have
me
to actually
too.
go to my
Yeah.
Steam Deck.
It's like, yeah, you got a Steam Deck. This thing will work on your Steam Deck. This one does too. This one does too. It's like, oh, okay. And it's pretty nice. Even like when you launch a Steam Deck and you go to your library, it'll say on there like all these are the games in your library that are Steam Deck verified, and the rest are not verified. But even though a game is not verified, it does not mean it won't launch on your Steam
Yeah,
Deck.
it could be playable.
It could be
Yeah.
definitely playable, even though like it might be a little wonky here and there, but it definitely could still be playable on your Steam Deck. But one of my favorite games, of course, is playable on there, and that's Helldivers 2. Been playing more of that. Like I said, I got the new pack or whatever, like the new battle pass for it or whatever. And I fucking love those battle passes. I love the way they do it. There's no time limit. There's no rushing to get it done. You get it done when you get it done, dude. And then you just do whatever you want in the game, just keep playing it however you want to play.
That's a nice feature. You don't have to worry
Fuck
about
yeah.
like pushing it like when you've done Call of Duty multiple times.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I need to try
Man.
and push through and get to level 100 before the season ends.
You gotta fucking grind every day, ignoring your family and shit. You gotta fucking get the battle pass done, dude. It's like, no, like, nah, this doesn't give a fuck. It doesn't care. It's like, whatever. We don't.
That honestly might put some extra value of Call of Duty would do something like that.
It
If you
would.
fast and you would eventually get there no matter what. You wouldn't
Yeah,
run out of time
you know how many more people would buy the battle passes? I think I would buy every battle pass of Call of Duty if
because
Call of Duty
you would get
said,
it eventually.
yeah, if Call of Duty said, hey, look, okay, maybe we won't let you progress the second battle pass until you beat the first one, but it never expires. So don't worry about it.
That'd be just nice. I think it would draw people in, like
I think
the
it would. I think
casual
more
players.
people. I think more people would buy them, and I think that Helldivers is doing it correctly because they don't just let you say like you buy the first battle pass and then you buy another one right away. You can progress whichever one you want. It doesn't force you to progress the first one to get to the second one. It lets you do whatever you want. You can say I want to progress the second one. You go to the second one and you start buying shit off of there. Because you use the tokens, right? Like these things called medals that you earn when you do missions, or you usually earn them by completing missions or whatever, by successfully completing missions. And now if everyone dies and you fail, then you get nothing. You just get a mission failed or whatever. But when you're in the mission, you can either find these tokens in certain areas of the map. They'll be hidden like in some kind of like fucking little garage stash thing or whatever. You can sometimes find them, but the way to get them, the main way to get them, is to complete the mission, right? So it kind of encourages you to complete more missions with people, and you can just spend them however you want. They even tell you like, we don't give a fuck.
Could you
Spend them
imagine if
however you want.
Battlefield would do it? Like Battlefield could do it where if you
Yeah,
complete the objectives, like how nobody plays objectives in Battlefield.
yeah. There you
Like
go.
Yeah.
you have to do
For,
objectives to get the
for
medals, and
each
then you could.
for each objective that you get, you get the ribbons, right? Because you know how you get ribbons in Battlefield, and say
Right.
per each ribbon you get 2 of these tokens or whatever, or one of
Yeah,
these
there's so
tokens
many
per ribbon.
checkpoints held, or so much time held at checkpoints. You can get tokens or
Yeah,
whatever, and it'll unlock your
it'd be
battle
such a
pass
better
items and
way.
stuff. It
It'd
would
be
just
such a
make
better way
people
than
play
doing
good.
it. Yeah, on the XP. With the XP, I mean, I get it. It works, right? You're playing, you get an XP, but I think you're right, man. I think you're on something there. I think EA should look at that and be like, maybe we should rework the way we do our battle pass and let people just buy it and beat it whenever. What's the big deal? Like, like what's the big deal? Who the fuck cares when they beat it?
I mean, they've already created the content, right? So I mean,
Yeah,
people are paying for it and not getting it necessarily at times. The people will pay
but
for it, maybe only make it to level 50. Maybe life got busy and they quit playing for a while, and then they just wasted half of the battle pass.
yeah. But besides that, though, I was what else did I play? I played some Helldivers. I played that. Um, I played some more Battlefield, of course. Now Battlefield seems kind of dead to me. The other day, it was weird, man. It was like a Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning or something, and I go to launch Battlefield. It was like 10 a.m., middle of the day, right? Kind of like for most of the country, I guess. For like the East Coast, it's like noon or 1. For us, it's 10 a.m. For other parts of the world, it's like nighttime or whatever. I'm thinking, all right, I'm gonna match the Battlefield and start playing. I launched this map and it wouldn't load players. It said like waiting for players, waiting for players, waiting for. It said like 1 out of 20 players in lobby, and it was me. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then it said 2 out of 20 players in lobby. Some other guy showed up.
Mate,
okay,
everybody's sleeping in the UK, eh?
Like, I guess I was like, is this game this fucking dead? Like, no one is playing Battlefield in the daytime. I was able to get into a match later on that day in the evening, but in the daytime, it was like damn almost near impossible to get into a match. I couldn't, and it was like it wasn't even like a custom game mode. It was like right off their main menu. Like, you know how they have their modes in the main menu. I just clicked on something. I was like, all right, let's go. No, nothing. It was just like loading, waiting for players, waiting for players. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's tea time, mate. We'll get on after, eh?
It must have been tea time.
In progress, huh? You know, because sometimes they just
nothing.
Halfway over. It's just
nothing. I think I got into one match and it was like over. Like as soon as I spawned in, it was like the animation started playing that the game was over. I'm like, all right, cool. We'll just be in this lobby till the next one starts. No, what it does is it kicks you out of the game and reloads you into another lobby. Well, what happened then? It couldn't find a fucking lobby. It was like, no, dude, we can't find a lobby for you. Like sorry. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, because I know they announced that they're done with the Battlefields with this one, right? That they're going to move on to the next one. But I'm like, did players abandon this already like this fast? I'm like,
I think they have.
I'm like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually in the evening, I was able to find a match and get into playing some Rush or whatever, and it was fun. But during the daytime, man, it was like, whoa, it's like a ghost town over there. I'm like, what the fuck's going on over here, man? And it's crazy to me because you go to like Helldivers, and when you go on a Helldiver, it's like usually the planets that people are attacking don't have anywhere from 25,000 players to like 70,000 players on that same planet. And that's just not one planet. There's players on other planets doing other shit on other planets. So there's always at least 100,000 players on Helldivers. I'm like, what happened to Battlefield? Like, it died off so fast. Poor game. But besides all that,
yeah, that's where everybody's playing.
yeah,
Everybody's playing
right?
Helldivers, not Battlefield. And Call of Duty's kind of coming to an end. Not coming to an end, but you know what I mean. Like before COD 6 comes out, Black Ops.
What else?
They're playing Warzone.
What the fuck else have I been playing? Should play a little bit of all that. Fuck around with my Steam Deck. What's another game I've been playing? Oh, I've been playing more of that Ant game, Gunny.
Yeah, how's that going?
Pretty good so far. I'm having trouble with this mission. There's this mission when you're on the beach and you gotta defend against the other ants. I don't know. I don't know if I'm failing or what's going on. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. So I don't know what to do next.
Sounds like it's time to YouTube it and say, you got to do this and that. But that's what I usually do.
No, I'm figuring it out. I've unlocked another type of ant, like a third type of ant now. So I have 3 types of ants now in my colony. And we'll see how that goes. And but yeah, I've been playing the ant game. Oh, and I've also today I launched and I played a lot of City Skylines 2. New update is out. Gunny Economy 2.0 is out now. That means everything's been rebalanced. So
okay, maybe I'll I think I did re-download it. I haven't been on the PC Game Pass stuff lately.
I bought it
more on the Xbox.
I bought it on Steam, and surprisingly enough, Paradox Interactive supports like cross saving between platforms. So even if you play on your Xbox and you bring it over to the PC and you launch it on the PC, as long as you log into your Paradox Interactive account.
Yes.
It'll cross save it, like it'll bring your saves across from the other platforms. So it brought my save across from the Game Pass version to the Steam version, and I was happy to see that because I'm like, oh cool, I could bring my whole city over. And sure enough, as expected, when you launch the game in your current city that you have already built, with the new Economy 2.0 patch, you're gonna see a death wave right away. Like everyone's gonna be dying. And that's because they say like we want to kill off all the citizens in your city, or most of them, so we could repopulate it with new people. So it could, like, the game can actually start working how we design it to work now. Where, like, they said before the death, like, the way people, like, if people move into your city, people were born or whatever in your city, they would grow old and they would all kind of die at the same time. And they're saying now we've done it to where it's more spread out. People die more sporadically. People will die in car accidents. People will die in accidents just in general. People will die when they're young. People will die when they're kids. People will die when they're old. Like, not everyone gets to grow old and die. That's what they said. So they're like, we kind of rebalance that. And we also kind of rebalance the way the economy works in terms of like how people spend their money and all that shit. And I mean, yeah, so you can also import services now from other cities. So say your city doesn't have enough like police, or they don't have enough firemen, or they don't have enough medical facilities. You can import services from other cities and pay them, like pay a city extra money, like your neighboring city, and they'll send over their police to police your city, or they'll send over their firemen or their ambulances to pick people up or whatever if people need to be taken to the hospital or whatever.
I want to see how that part of it works out. Like, I mean, I'm connected to other cities, but there's no information on the other cities itself. So that'll be cool. Yeah, I'll probably do that this week and see how that looks.
They did a lot of updates too, like where now you can break down your taxes, and you can like say you have a property tax, right, for your housing. So you have property tax, but you can also have like individual property taxes it says for like uneducated people, you can have a higher tax or a lower tax.
Oh, that's great.
Like,
yeah.
For semi-educated people, for people that graduated high school, for people that graduated university, you can have different tax levels and different tax brackets for different people that have different education levels. You can also have like new policies that they added to the city where that are like policies where like you can increase highway speeds to like make them really fast. So like highways, you can speed really fast on a highway. And they say like, yeah, that's a good thing. It'll increase speed in your city, but it might also increase accidents and noise or whatever. So there's a lot of new things to it. So I've been kind of fucking with it.
And road maintenance.
Yeah, road maintenance gets more expensive too. But yeah, I've been kind of fucking with it. Good thing is that my city had like a lot of extra money. Like I think I had 600 something million in the bank saved up. So I could bleed money forever right now and still be like not bankrupt.
Well, that's my challenge, right? I'm going to use the economy and report back next week to see how that goes.
But yeah, using that the new update, it's pretty cool, man. And performance wise, I think that the game performs a little bit better now, maybe less stuttery or whatever. But yeah, that's that. It's been updated. It's been patched.
I'll see how that goes because on my 1070, I get my 1070 Ti. I get about 29 frames, which is fine. You know, I'm playing like a console version of the game, basically on PC. So hey, if I can get more than 30, that'd be great.
I looked at this game like multiple times. I tried to play it once, and I could not figure it out. It was early. I didn't really give it much time, but I was like, "This is all
right." Let me explain it to you. Mayo.
It's like a person who's like outside who never played the first one.
So there's
it's a lot to dive into.
So this is a God game, is what this is. Okay,
yeah, pretty much.
Any of the City Skylines are God games. You're basically, I like to put it like this, Jesus. You're creating your own, your own problems, your own city, right? So the more you grow it, well, I should say, like, if you're just going to use unlimited funds, you're just kind of you're still creating your own kind of issues with, hundreds or thousands of roads and buildings and But yeah, I guess if you're using an economy, then it's a little different. You can't build as fast or put in as much industry.
Just tried to figure it out, like what I did with like back in the day with SimCity. You just kind of jumped in, just threw some roads down, and then added some buildings here and there, and just
and it takes time, right? It takes
more
takes a lot of time.
SimCity,
you got a lot of time has to pass by before you to collect taxes and increase popularity and
different like layers, like showing like underground stuff and everything. And I'm like, this is way too involved.
Yeah, the whole pipes thing. They've kind of simplified the pipe thing, I think, with the water pipes. I think it's better than City Skylines 1.
PC game, right? On mouse and keyboard probably than it is on a controller.
So Jesus played this game, the original City Skylines, on Xbox. I did not, because I originally bought it on Steam when it first came out, the original City Skylines 1. And and of course I'm using all kinds of different mods and I was just really like, I would have like 20 different mods installed, but that's all mouse and keyboard. So when I went to try it with a controller, I was like, yeah, I don't like this. But eventually, I think they did get all their mods, not all of them, but they
The
added a
big ones,
bunch.
yeah, to the console
Yeah,
version.
but I just found it easier mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, it's a fun game. I like it. I'm thinking about modding it now. Maybe I should mod it and see what I can bring into it. Put
So
the
they,
mods.
I did not use the Nexus mods, Jesus. I used the official Paradox
Paradox.
mods, which are on the
Yeah,
main screen.
yeah.
And so there's
So
not a lot of them. There's like 8 of them or something.
yeah, I might do that next when I go launch it again tonight, probably. So besides all this, guys, I actually ended up. I don't know how the fuck I ended up running into these people. I'm not sure if it was Facebook or Reddit because I go to Reddit sometimes, just kind of browse it. But I ended up finding these people that were doing a role playing server for GTA 5. Okay.
Oh, nice.
And they're like, hey, man, we need people. We're looking for new people to come do this role playing shit in GTA. And I'm like, fuck it. Let's do it. I clicked it. I joined their server on Discord. And they're like, hey, how do I do this? And they're like, all right, cool. They're like, install GTA 5 and install 5M. And then pretty much it's what I did, right? So I installed GTA 5, installed 5M. And then they're like, okay, just wait for us to hit you up at some point. And then we'll get you like started on the server or whatever. So pretty much, dude, we fucking I ended up playing with these guys, and it's fucking cool, man. So they got me into like their server or whatever on 5M, and they pretty much you create a character right there in the spot. You can pull up a thing and create a character, and they give you like all the things to do. Like, what do you have to do? Like, what do you what do you want to be? And I was like, oh fuck it, I'll be a cop. Like, okay, for what department?
For some reason, I just could see you being a cop in a game. Like, I don't know why. Like,
They're like, for what department? I was like, what departments are there? And they're like, well, there's the city police, there's the state police, and then there's like I think the sheriff's department. And I was thinking, I don't want to be a city cop. Maybe I'll be a sheriff deputy. And like, okay, cool. So they gave me like all the things to put on the clothes for the sheriff deputy, and then you make a character, you do that, and then they took me through training, right? They like legit had to take me to training. So they took me to like this place, like I don't know where it was, like the military base or something. And all right, they made me like they read me all the rules. They're like, okay, the rules are this, 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 and this. Like when you're role playing, you can't break character. You can't like they're like you gotta treat it like you're you're really there. Like you gotta get into it. Like you gotta really act like you're in character. You're not just playing a game. Like you have to be in the to bring the immersion to everyone. Everyone has to stay in character for the most part. And I was like, okay. And they told me all the rules about like how to use your gun. You can't just shoot people. You can't just beat people up. You can't just like fucking run people over. You can't crash into people. You can't do all these like all these rules, right? Like when you're following someone, if you're in a chase, like when you're going through an intersection, you got to make sure you slow down. You don't just blow through the intersection with your lights on in case you crash into someone. You know, they're like when doing when pulling people over or when you're in a pursuit, you got to constantly be calling out to dispatch what road you're on, what direction you're headed, what vehicle, how fast, how's traffic, and all this like all these codes, man. They had all these fucking codes and shit. So then they took me to the training, right? And they had like different scenarios set up. So one scenario was like, all right, this people called. There's a guy at this restaurant or this bar, and he's been 86, but he doesn't want to leave. And the clerk called us to go assist him in removing this guy from the store or whatever. So here I go, right? Turn my lights on, flying down the road, you know, just fucking hauling ass. And I get to the place, right? And then you got to go in there. You got to identify yourself as a deputy from whatever sheriff department, and then you gotta like be in character, dude. You like the people are in character the whole fucking time. The people in the game are in character, and you have to be in character. And it's like you can't break the character. And like they have all these like emotes. You can like pull up a command list, and you can do all these emotes like put your hand on your chest, you point at something, you can grab someone, you can punch someone, you can arrest someone, you can handcuff someone. So they got all these emotes programmed into the thing, like 500 emotes you can learn. And I'm like, what the fuck?
wow.
So at first it was kind of a little overwhelming, right? Because I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. So, but after we did that one, they were like, all right, they're like, fuck, you actually did really good. They were like, the one thing that you did do wrong was you didn't talk to the clerk at the store when you pulled in. They're like, you gotta talk to them, even though it's not a character. You gotta talk to them like you're talking to a clerk because you're in character. You gotta stay in character. I was like, okay. And then like the other thing you did, you blew through intersections back there, like you were just flying down the road. Like you gotta make sure you slow down when you like are crossing an intersection so you don't crash into nobody. And I'm like, okay. So then the next thing was like, okay, now we're gonna do a thing where like we're on the side of the road, we're patrolling for speeders, and we're gonna have a speeder go by, and you're gonna pull them over. So sure enough, right? Here you go. Fucking car flies by me, like going like 100 something. I'm like, holy shit. I pull him over, and there's like this black lady, right? And I'm calling him sir because it sounded to me like a guy. Calling me sir, I'm a ma'am. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh my bad. It was kind of fucking hilarious though. It was this character. This was like a funny character. Like this person that was playing this character was funny as fuck. And there was like a character in the server that somebody made for the server, and they were just going off on me about calling them ma'am or calling them sir. I was like, I couldn't keep it together at some points. I was like, this shit's too fucking funny, dude. But I had to keep it together, right? And you gotta ask them, okay, give me your driver's license, your registration, your insurance. And then you gotta call dispatch and you gotta say, hey, dispatch, this is unit, blah, blah, blah. I need you to run a code, whatever for me. Like, all right, what is it? And then you give them the information and you give them the license plate of the car. And they'll say like, okay, yeah, this person's name is this and this, age, blah, 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 registered, concealed weapon carry, and vehicle is registered red convertible, blah blah blah, whatever. And it's like, okay, so you got to make sure that the car they're in is theirs, the insurance is good, everything's good, and then you got to issue them a citation for fucking speeding, right? So I got like there's like all these rules you got to follow, dude. And it's kind of at first it's kind of intimidating, but once you get into character, it's like it kind of just goes. You're kind of just in there, like you're just kind of going with it. You're going along with it, and it gets pretty cool, man. Like we did a high speed chase. We chased some dude down. He was fucking flying down the road in like a fucking some SUV thing, and I was fucking hauling ass behind him. We got him and we arrested him. But yeah, like the guys were telling me, they're like the main thing about being in the server is you gotta learn to stay in character and to not break character, even if people piss you off. Like, even if someone really gets you mad, you gotta stay in character. You can't just fucking be, like, going crazy and shit, because you will get kicked from the server. And, but yeah, man, it almost, so this is what I thought about was, like, Dungeons and Dragons. This is what this shit reminded me of.
That's it.
Like, you are role-playing, and you're in this world role-playing as a certain character, and that's who you are, like if that character dies, that character dies. And that's what they told me. They were like, if your character in the world, they were doing, like a night of whatever when everyone's online playing. They're like, if your character dies in this world, you got to create a whole new one. The name, everything has to be changed to a whole new character. And it has to be like a new person doing new things. And I'm like, oh, okay. They're like, so yeah, they're like, you got to make sure that you're doing shit correctly because, we don't, they're like, it's like your character is your character. Once that character dies, then you got to create a whole new one or whatever, And so, like, it's crazy, dude. They got, like, all these roles. They got, like, a fire department role, paramedic role, search and rescue, state trooper, city police, sheriff. They got all these crazy, like, things. They got NPC roles where people are just, like, they're just NPCs in the world that create chaos for the people to pull them over and shit, And their whole thing is to be, like, crazy characters that people run into. Like they're just in this fucking world. And some of them do a pretty good job at pulling it off, man. And like there's a guy who they were running the dispatch. So like when you call shit in, they like they'd give you info or whatever on what's going on. And that guy was really good at his job. I don't know if he was like a real dispatch person in real life, but this motherfucker sounded like a real dispatch person. Like you'd call something in and he'd be like on it. He'd be like boom, 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 like in character, dude. Just like, all right, unit, blah, blah, blah. We had headed southbound on this road. Copy. Be like, be advised, you're coming into a tunnel, blah, blah, blah. Heavy traffic might be involved. And then boom, dude, like all this crazy shit. And
I watched
a lot of crazy
Sheriff
rules.
Sheriff Eli. He's been playing a lot of Project Zomboid lately, and Elden Ring or whatever, whatever he wants to play. But he hasn't done GTA 5 in a while. But yeah, exactly just what you said on his server. That's exactly
Yeah.
how people are, and they all seem to stay in character. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've seen different like streams of it as well and stuff, and it all look really
It's
cool. Like
nuts,
watching
dude.
it, it's pretty entertaining. But I wonder what like the dispatcher like sees on his screen, like what he's doing in game. Besides like issuing out that stuff to you guys, I wonder what he's seeing in game.
I don't know what they're seeing. I don't know if they
That's a
just
good
have like a.
question.
I don't
Yeah.
know if they just have a spreadsheet of like the shit going on in the world around them. So they just have like a big spreadsheet of like a list of shit, that's going on all the time, or what? Yeah, because you're right, man. What the fuck are they doing the whole time? Are they just sitting there on their computer with
And to
like,
me, that would be kind of boring. Just like, I mean, yeah, you'd be sitting there like issuing directions and this and that to people. But if you didn't have a whole lot that you're watching or like interacting with on the screen, it could be kind of weird.
yeah,
Like, I'm just kinda
Yeah,
curious to
because
see
when I
are they
think
getting, like,
about
a top-down view of things, or what are they getting? How do they know you're coming into traffic and stuff like that?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird, man. Because because you have to like they said, when you're in a pursuit, you have to call it out and you have to call the direction you're headed and what road you're on, in case another unit decides to join the pursuit. And then when that unit joins, they'll say unit so and so join in pursuit and whatever, and then show me as code, and then you have to give out a code like code 10 whatever the fuck, and then that means that you're now engaged in that pursuit or whatever. And they have codes for everything, like just like regular cops do, I guess. They have a fucking code for everything. Like,
And then does, like, say you're out on patrol, Jesus, and you decide to help somebody, they tell you, like, an intersection where it's at, or they pulled somebody over and they went back up. How do you know? Do you, like, gotta just know the map, or does it show it up on your map after that, or how does that work?
so the school, I didn't know this about role playing, but like the map is a little bit different from the regular GTA map. So the map looks like the GTA map, like the GTA 5 map, but in different sections of the map, there's like little colored sections around the entire map, and it'll be like little colored, like they're kind of like highlighted in different colors, but like in those colors, you'll see a number. And it'll be like number 213, 215, 216, 218. And it goes down to like there's probably at least like 40 or 50 different sections. So when you pull somebody over, you say unit blah blah blah, whatever your number is or whatever they give you, and you say, for example, me, it was like I think I'm unit 714, so I would say unit 714, show me a code, whatever the fuck the code is for pulling people over at southbound on whatever road in 213 or whatever, and then I have to say the last thing I have to say is what section of the map I'm in. So now, if anyone's in that section of the map, they know, okay, this guy's pulled somebody over in this area. I could go help him out or whatever, And so that's kind of how that works. So the way you know where people are on the map is by these codes that you give out when you're calling things out. That way, like you're advising everyone, hey, I'm in this section of the map. You can find me here. As long as you find this road, you'll find me on this section of the map. And that's how they'll find you or whatever. And then they come and assist you and pulling somebody over or whatever the fuck, because yeah, you can ask for backup and you can ask for like it was like, say you like run somebody's name and they say, oh, this person shows a warrant for whatever the fuck. And then at that point, it'll be like, okay, well, can you give me a code, whatever, which means I need backup. And then the dispatch will be like, yeah, 10-4, we got you, for whatever units en route. And then they'll dispatch whoever the fuck is near you to go help you out or whatever the fuck.
So is there Jesus, do you think, because you haven't really started yet, do you think there's going to be like, before you jump onto that server, let's say tomorrow, like do you kind of do a Discord call, or do they send you messages and say, hey, we're going to have more of these like warrant calls, or you're going to be, you might possibly have to shoot somebody tomorrow, or blah 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 blah. Like, is it just more...
they don't tell you what's going to happen. They kind of just say, hey, look, we're going to have a patrol tonight or whatever between this time and this time. If you want to get on, you can. And then you kind of just get on.
Ad-libbed, right? Because the guys playing the crooks probably do whatever they want to do. And
right, I would think. Yeah. It's going to be not scripted. It's
all going to be random, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting the way it all works out, dude. And like,
so kind of like this show, no script.
There is no script. And it's kind of crazy that like some of the people like know, like they're really good at what they do. And the guys that were telling me, they're like, the guys that are running it told me that they've been doing this shit for like 5 or 6 years now. They've been doing like role playing on 5M or whatever for like that long, that amount of time. And they're like, we wanted to start our own server, so we did. And they're like, but we kind of want to start a server with more mature people, more adult people or whatever, because they like a lot of little kids want to join this type of shit because they see it on YouTube or whatever, or Twitch or whatever, and they want to join, but they don't know how to stay serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a kid doesn't know how to like stay in character. They break character too much or whatever, and like they do shit that a normal cop wouldn't do, or they do shit like a normal crook wouldn't do. You know, like they just do crazy shit that like no normal person would ever fucking do in real life. You know, that just kind of breaks the game a little bit. You know, but yeah, man, you can like you can have a custom police car like the car I have is like some custom SUV, like a police SUV. But you can ask for like a squad car, like a Charger, like a fucking whatever type of different cars they have for the departments. And yeah, and then they give you a unit number and whatever, like the unit minus 714. So I guess they said every person that calls out their unit number, when you hear it being called out, they said they're like the first number of whatever they're calling out is what they are. So if they're start with the 7, you're a deputy. If you start with the 5, you are a state trooper. If you start with the 4, you are a city cop or whatever. So like each department has a different number or whatever that correlates to whatever unit they are, you know. But yeah, they have people that play tow truck drivers. They have people that play fucking whatever, like random people, like just random citizens. Dude. It's fucking nuts, man. There's a lot that goes into this shit. I did not realize how much goes into this role playing shit, but it goes quite deep.
Yeah, I think the last time I had seen anything, there was a guy like somebody was streaming it, and somebody was in jail, and then one guy was playing like an attorney.
Yeah.
Yes.
He had to like.
Yeah, I see. I watch those on Twitch sometimes.
Yeah, it's because when you arrest someone, you have to tell them, "Hey, you're under arrest. This is your rights." And then you take them to jail, and you have to put in like how long they're going to be in jail for, like how many seconds. Like you can put like 5,000 seconds, 800 seconds, 60 seconds or whatever. And then you put like the time and their name, the time you're booking them, and how long they're going to be in jail for, and what they committed, like what crime. And then based on that, they get their sentence or whatever. But there is like for like bigger crimes that they told me, like if someone commits a murder and you catch them, they're like, for that we would have like a trial. So like there would be like a judge, there would be a prosecutor, there'd be a fucking witness, there'd be a fucking like they'd have all kinds of shit. They said like you like we'd do like a whole trial. I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, yeah, like I'm like, that's crazy.
It'd be fun playing the witness or something, or the judge, Yeah,
I watch Summit or Shroud or one of those guys that I think they stream it on the weekends, but a lot of times they're in that courtroom or that large police station, and there's attorneys and other players. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like watching that.
So some of these servers do have like 1,000 people. Some have like 500. Some have 300. Some have 200. Some have 100. I think the one that I'm in right now has about. They said they have about 50 something people that have signed up and that they need to get processed to like what they want to do and what they're gonna be or whatever in the city or whatever. But they're like, we're trying to get more people signed up. They're like, the hardest part of starting a server, they're like, is getting people signed up and getting people to actually like engage to want to play it. You know what I mean? And
yeah, well, that's not the easiest like thing, because I've been curious about it, and I'm pretty involved in the gaming community with stuff like that, in games, and I follow a lot of that stuff. But even I didn't really know how you completely get into.
I didn't either. Because even
I had no idea.
They're like, well, how the hell did you find us? I'm like, I was like, to be honest, I'm not sure if it was Facebook or Reddit. And they're like, okay. They're like, have you ever done this before? I was like, no. And they're like, okay. They're like, have you ever done any kind of role playing before? Dungeons and Dragons, anything? I was like, not really, no. And they're like, okay. They're like, well, fuck. They're like,
we'll get back to you.
Right.
They're like, oh man, we'll get back to you. We got our hands full of this guy.
No, but see, like when they did the training, they kind of taught you about all that. And then like, when they run you through it, that's when they're kind of gauging you to see like, is this guy going to be a good fit or not? Like, can you really pull it off? Can he pull off like being serious and doing the call outs and doing everything like you're supposed to or whatever? And they told me like, yeah, they're like, yeah, you got to kind of work on your call outs and you got to kind of work on your codes. They're like, but that comes with time, right? They're like, you obviously don't expect you to know the codes to everything that's happening right away. They're like, but eventually you will catch on, right? I was like, yeah. They're like, all right, cool. They're like, all right, like, well, you're in. I was like, oh, hell yeah. It's like, fuck yeah. They're like, actually, they told me, they were like, to be honest, they're like, out of everyone we've already done, like we've done like the interview process with and ran them through the training or whatever, they're like, you actually did like the best out of everyone. They're like, for a moment there, we actually were thinking, this guy's fucking lying. He's done this shit before. Like, ain't no fucking way, like, he hasn't done this shit in the past.
I mean, have you told him you've done like over 400 podcasts?
Well,
Like,
that's what I told him. I was like, I do a podcast, guys. I fucking know how to talk, you know? Like, I know how to talk, motherfucker. Okay? But yeah, they're like, oh, okay. But yeah, they seem like cool people, man. Like really chill, like adult dudes, like just trying to get the server going and shit. And kind of cool, man. It's kind of cool to
that's
see
awesome.
what,
I can't wait to actually, I'm sure somebody will stream it or put it on YouTube.
And as
I
a
always
cop,
watch on Twitch.
and as a cop, you only get like certain weapons. Like I have a Glock 17, I think. I have a Glock. I have a taser. I have a baton. I have. What else? Yeah, I have my
Got some pepper spray?
nightstick. I'm not sure if I think I
Do
do.
cops use that anymore? I think they just use tasers these days.
They use tasers nowadays. Yeah, I have a taser for sure. I have a gun. I have my nightstick. I have like a medical kit to like revive people or whatever, or like give first aid. And I have like a fire extinguisher. It's something else, like something I don't know. I forgot what the other thing was, but it's like shit that a cop would have. And I'm like, this is pretty fucking crazy. Like they gave me the exact shit a cop would have. Like, but they have like all these rules, man. They have all these pages and like on the server, they have all this information, like all these pages to say like, click here to look at the codes for the police. Click here to look at the codes for the fire department. Click here to look at the codes for search and rescue. Click here if you want to know what roles a civilian should be making or whatever. Like what kind of civilian you should be making or whatever. Or
yeah,
like they're
jaywalking,
saying,
right? Is that a crime? Like, what did they get? A citation?
or like, would you even pull someone? Would you even waste your time pulling somebody over for that? You know what I mean? Like shit like that, you know. And then they'll ask you like, you know, like what are you doing? You know, like so like. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see how that all plays out, and it's really cool, man. Because like the cop cars look really cool. All of them look kind of unique. You know, everyone has their own cop car. Everyone has like the state troopers have their own style of car. The city cops have their own. The deputies have their own, and yeah, there's like I think there's like helicopter pilots for each department or whatever for like the state police and the fucking the deputies and the fucking city cops. They each have their own helicopter and have their own pilots and shit for them. And yeah, everything is like legit, man. So it's like a legit role playing server. So I look forward to actually playing more with these guys and see what I get myself into here.
Nice. Can't wait to hear more about that. And put that link in down below once you're in there. And I'll support it.
And I gotta say, GTA 5 runs fucking smooth as shit. Even when like this whole like 5M mod overlay on it or whatever, it runs fucking solid, like no issues.
I mean, it's what, like a 13-year-old game at this point?
We were playing this on Xbox 360, remember?
Yeah, like it runs fucking solid as shit. And
PS4, 3.
The guy even asked me, he was like, I noticed you're running vanilla GTA. He's like, I'm surprised. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, most people that run 5M run it like modded. Like you can mod it to make it look even better than what it does now. I'm like, oh, I can, huh? Okay. So I'm thinking about figuring out how to do those mods and getting up in there and remodding it to making it look more.
Are they using Nexus mods? Or are they using some other website to another modding community?
I don't know. It has to be a mod that works with 5M. That's all I know. They told me, yeah, you can mod 5M and like get in there and like you can figure out like how to, because like I already modded my game to like have their police car lights, because like they have custom police lights for the cars. Like each car has its own unique style of lights, and you can change the way the lights are on the cop car. Like you can have them in the headlights, you can have them in the turning signals, you can have them on the side mirrors, underneath the car, glowing underneath when they pull somebody over, in the back window or whatever. You know, you can have different style of lights on your car. And they were saying that I needed to download this mod, and I did, and I installed it. But it was like a manual install. Like I had to go into my INI files and do all that myself. But it wasn't hard. I mean, the tutorial was pretty straightforward. Like go into your folder, click INI or whatever, click this, and then boom, you're gonna be here, and then you just copy paste this into there. Okay, boom, and it worked. So yeah, man, it's fucking pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool getting to like meet meet this community of people that like playing a game and they're so into it that they're like willing to like make characters and shit for it. It's fucking cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I look forward to playing more of that. I'm kind of that's like the most exciting thing this week for me was like getting to play with those guys. That shit was cool as fuck.
Yeah, sounds like a good time.
Get you all hyped up for GTA 6.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you know they're gonna be playing the shit out of GTA 6 modded or whatever, online or whatever. I told you, man, GTA 6 they need to just fucking buy 5M and install it into GTA 6. Just
have a
have it.
version, role
Yeah,
version.
just have it in there already. You don't have to install 5M, you don't have to do nothing extra. It's already all in the fucking game. You just fucking do it. It's already in here. I think they will do it. I think they will. If they're smart, they will, right? Who knows?
Yeah, I think so. I think they'll definitely work with the modding community even more.
But that's all I played, man. What have you guys been playing? Buddy?
I myself, I haven't played a ton. Just casual stuff with me working so much still. The biggest thing is that still playing that was it like the Hot Shots golf, whatever, off the PS Plus.
Okay.
It's very simple, like getting there and playing some golf, playing a couple rounds, and just playing around with that game, and it has like this progression where you got to beat like 3 people, and then you kind of move up, and they all have different like challenges. Like one of the challenges is like to make things easier early on, you have like the hole would basically be like a really big hole, so it's like magnified like a big head mode almost, except for it's on the green, and you have this humongous hole to hit the ball in. Other times it's like a normal size hole, or make you use like the same kind of clubs and all that kind of stuff. And then when you beat those players, you get their outfits for some reason. That's the whole, I guess, goal in beating those people. But I just do it, to progress through the game and get the better clubs and stuff like that. But yeah, the whole getting their clothing and stuff is just kind of weird to me. It's like you beat the girl character and you unlock the girl character's clothing, but you have a boy character, so you don't really want to like throw it all on him or whatever, So you just go through it. But I really don't worry about the way my character looks or nothing. But I guess I could see the draw there, but I just made a default character and just kind of went with it, and I've been enjoying that. And then I've been still playing Jesus. I've still been playing the Uncharted. That's probably the game I've been probably playing the most. I've been enjoying that quite a bit. Still, the wide variety of missions in that game is kind of cool. It's like there's ones where, like this last one I did was, it's still kind of early in the game, but like there's this one you had to like, you're trying to get this cross, and there's this whole like party going on, and you gotta like go in and kill the power to the place, and things happen, and one of the guys is supposed to be like, acting like a waiter, and they're like in there and they try and steal the cross. We gotta after you cut the power, and
yeah, I remember that mission.
And you have like you gotta follow like the little lights and stuff. So it's like some of it's just like very action packed, and then some of it's like some shooting action, and then it's like, all right, it's gonna be some climbing and thinking and figuring out how to get from point A to point B. And that's kind of like where I left off. I was in this one mission. It was just kind of like got to kind of traverse across to a different area. But that game has been good. Like I've been really enjoying it when I do play it, because I don't know, it's got that big blockbuster kind of feel to it. Like there's some events that are kind of like, oh, that's really cool. Like it's big shootouts happening or something like that, and it's all scripted, but again, it's just a good story being told, and it kind of gets you into it, and you're just like, oh, this is really fun. And then other times the game kind of calms down. And
are you excited for Uncharted, the second movie?
I never really watched the first one, so like I started to watch it and I didn't like it, but now I might go back into it and watch it again.
Yeah, I missed it. I could probably watch it at any time because I don't watch too many movies, so I just play video games.
I didn't like the very beginning of that first movie. There's like a cargo plane, and it's like losing the cargo. Like they dump the cargo, and he's like falling out of the plane, and he's like running up the cargo as it's falling out of the plane. And I'm like,
I saw that.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm like,
which movie was this?
I saw all the clips.
The Uncharted movie.
Oh,
he's running up that the cargo on the plane.
At the very beginning, and I'm like, I just can't watch the movie does stuff.
That's actually, well, the thing is, well, if you were a real Uncharted fan, Mayo,
you would know.
You would know, Mayo. That's part of the game, Mayo. Number 2 or 3. So
that's what I'm seeing.
That happens.
Like, when I'm playing this, like things that happen. I'm like, okay, like this with the heist scene where we had to steal this cross. It kind of reminded me of a scene like it was in the beginning of that movie too.
Is that where they're like in that museum or like that auction or whatever?
Yeah, it was like an auction going on, and you have to steal
Yeah,
across in the game. And then the
yeah.
movie, they had something like with an auction where,
The auction,
was it
yeah.
the guy that I can't even think of the guy's name right now.
Sully?
Well, I mean, the real
Sully's
life
the old
actor.
guy. Oh,
Yeah,
Tom Holland?
yeah, Holland had to steal the thing. I remember him hanging from like a chandelier, and all these things would kind of happen. So I can see how they kind of tied it in a little
Yeah.
bit. I only watched just a little
Some of
bit of
the
it.
scenes are totally from the game, and I could tell that there's total bullshit. Like this would never happen. Like the whole thing at the end, dude, where like I told you, was that when the boats were flying in the air or whatever? They're flying with a bunch of boats and helicopters and shit in the air,
In
and
the
they're like,
movie,
yeah, at the end of the movie
I
or
never seen it
whatever.
all the way through. Wow.
At the end of the movie, right? They go like,
I didn't see the end either.
you know how like Uncharted, it's all about finding like hidden like relics or whatever, like some old Nazi boat or something that had gold on it or something, right? Well,
Uh-huh.
at the end of the movie, I think they find like the point of the movie is to find some. It's like the third game where you're looking for some treasure that the Spanish conquistadors left or something from the pirates. They stole this gold from some pirate, and the conquistadors or the Spanish fleet or whatever, the navy or the Spanish navy left it somewhere. And then in the movie they find the boat or whatever, the pirate I don't know if it's the pirate's boat or the Spanish navy's boat, whichever, some old wooden boats. Right, they find it in like the Himalayas or some shit, okay? Like the middle of the mountains, all right? Like in the middle of nowhere, Mayo. Like nowhere where you would think a fucking ship would ever be, okay? Like not even like remotely close to where a ship would be. And then they attach these huge like helicopter crane winch things down to them, and they lift up the boat from the fucking ground or wherever the fuck it's at, the mountain, or I think it was a mountain. And then they're flying these boats through the air. Hey, to get this treasure, to get the treasure back to
Yeah.
the bad guys, to the bad guys later, okay? Instead of just sending like a team to go in there and get the gold, the guy has to hire a bunch of helicopters to go and attach the boats to the helicopters and fly them to the air. Get them the fuck out of there. And,
The whole
the end
boat.
of, yeah, and the end of the movie is Tom Holland as Drake and Nathan, or the guy Sully or whatever. Is it Ben Affleck or some shit? Who the fuck plays Sully, the old guy? Was it Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
Or who was it? Wasn't it? Well, maybe it wasn't Ben. Maybe it was somebody else. I think it was Ben Affleck though. I don't know. Anyways, whoever plays the fucking old guy, Sully. Well, anyways, Drake and Sully are on the boat, and they're fighting the bad guys on the other boat, and they're shooting like cannons at the other boat in the middle of the air. And shit's going off. It's a total fucking like.
Isn't that Mark Wahlberg?
Oh, Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, Mark Wahlberg plays Sully. You're right. Yeah, it is Mark Wahlberg. He plays Sully. I was thinking it was Ben Affleck. I think Ben Affleck would be a better fit, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I didn't really know much about Sully. Like he was on a couple of the missions out, like where you talked to him, but they didn't really
listen,
say
man.
anything. Again, I
Sully
jumped into it
is
late.
Drake's best friend. Okay, he's Drake's like old mentor guy.
Okay.
That's who he is.
Because I know, like, there was a
Right.
because your brother, like, on this, when you thought your brother was dead or whatever, and he kind of
Yeah,
comes back, and he was like, "Oh, I don't trust him," and he's like, "Oh, he's like family to me," and so
yeah.
like I
Because
know there was some kind of
Sully's been around since the first game. I think you run into him like in the first mission of the first game. He's like another explorer guy too, or whatever, and then you kind of like team up or
Yes.
whatever. And he's like, "Oh, I'll help you, kid. I'll help you." And then that's when Sully had his own plane. He has like his own airplane or whatever. So Drake is using him to get around on his airplane, and they're running around the world or whatever, trying to find this treasure or whatever. There's always about some. There's always some treasure from like the Spanish Navy or some shit, or the conquistadors or something. Some fucking pirate. There's always some pirate left some treasure somewhere. Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, but you reminded me of the Fast movie series. Was it Fast X? Was the last one? Just
yeah.
some of the crazy, unbelievable shit they do.
Yeah, and
In
those
that
are hit or
movie.
miss with me as well. Like, there's certain ones that are really good, and then there's certain ones I really didn't like. What was it, like? Was it like 9 or 8? The one that they had they were in the Antarctic and they had the tank up there and with the submarine, but they also had like the Lamborghini. They were like up on the glaciers and they had like a Lamborghini up there on the
Yeah, on a
glacier,
glacier.
and I can't remember all the specifics, but some of that stuff was kind of crazy too. I was just like,
Ridiculous.
they were like, yeah, like trying to start and stop on a glacier,
So
a big old sheet of ice, and you're like
yeah.
driving these cars, and they were like flying along, and
So come on, if
you
they
know,
can do it, we can do it in an Uncharted movie. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
bro.
the one of the Fiero that goes out of space that outer space. That's
Fucking car goes into
Yeah.
space. Okay, yeah.
but,
Yeah, okay. All right, man. A car really cannot go into space, man. Okay, don't try that at
okay,
home.
Come
I
on.
am
If you're
not gonna
wearing an
try that one.
astronaut suit, of course you
Yeah, I'm
could.
sure your car will not melt in the atmosphere. It's going to fucking
No, not
hot
at
ass
not at terminal
atmosphere.
velocity.
Put
Put the brakes on. You got to apply the brakes.
Pontiac,
fucking
they used the
2,000
Pontiac
miles an hour.
Fiero in that movie, and them cars were known to catch fire by themselves. I couldn't imagine it coming back into orbit.
Oh man, yeah, that'd be all fucked up. Yeah, no, but yeah, man. Yeah, but the new movie's coming out supposedly. They said that they announced Uncharted 2 may be coming soon.
Interesting. Is that where you like
Another
direct to Netflix, or is it gonna be like another? 'Cause that seems to be the
no,
thing.
I
It
think
seems like these movies are lately kind of like what is there a new Beverly Hills Cop and a new
Yeah, isn't that a TV show though? That's on Netflix.
I don't even know. I see
Yeah,
Netflix was
it's a
getting one
Netflix
of them,
show.
and they're remaking a couple of these older shows, but there was another one I remember seeing too as a remake. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
something from the 80s or 90s era, like they're doing all these remakes. But I mean,
yeah.
really, and I haven't been much on the Steam machine that much here. Like I've been kind of playing around with the Xbox a little bit and the PlayStation in my free time, and I
Nice.
picked up a phone game, and which I don't normally play, but like I've been on the
Wow.
run so much. Some of the guys I work with on the lunch break was playing this golf game, and so I started playing it, and it has like clans, and you do like 1v1s on like one hole, and then you
Okay.
win money for that round. It's called Golf Clash, I think it's called, and
Oh,
so you download the game, and it's like you create, you got your basic beginner clubs, and you can play somebody for like 50 coins, and they put in 50 coins, so it's for 100 coins, and then you play one round, so you play one hole, and it's a random hole, and if you guys get like the same scores, like if you guys are both par at the end, it goes to a draw, and it will load a new hole, and you each get one shot from the tee, and the closest to the pin will win the draw, and that person wins, and that person wins the money. And then when you win money, you can you level up, and you get like this season passing. It just automatically has free stuff it gives you. But they give you cards, and those cards turn around into new golf clubs, and then you have to get so many points. Like you need 10 points of that card to level up your
okay.
driver or whatever. So like you may get a card that have 1 point of a driver in it. It's like next thing you know, you get 10 points. You can get you can level your driver up, and it'll show you more where the ball bounces, and it will show you maybe more range. It depends on whatever club you're leveling up. So you can start randomly leveling clubs up, and you just keep playing. There's actually tournaments. They do weekend tournaments where it's like a hole where you play like 9 holes or 18 holes, and it goes by your scores and stuff, and you can win big packs of cards and stuff and win money. So then it's like you get your coins. You got to use that money to upgrade your clubs because it costs the money. Once your club
What's
actually gets enough points, you can
what's the
upgrade
name of
it.
this
And you
game,
can do
Mayo?
plans. It's called Golf Clash.
I'm gonna
It's
check this out.
pretty entertaining. It's really easy to play on a phone. And then like your clubs, like you have like your little meter that moves back and forth when you're gonna hit the
Yeah.
ball. Like the better the clubs or the more accurate clubs you have, the slower it moves, or the faster it moves if they're a less accurate club, but they may hit further and stuff. But it's just a quick, simple. You can get in, play a couple rounds, get out, but it gets kind of addictive. You're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get in.
Is this the one from EA?
Yes,
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get that one.
yeah, it's pretty fun. Like I said, you can make little clans, and there's like global rankings and all that kind of stuff. So and pretty decent graphics, and it's just I don't know. It's been a lot of fun. A little confusing at first, but once you kind of figure it out, it's pretty fun. You can link it to
Looking for a
Facebook.
new phone game to get.
Yeah, and I was kind of like I don't really play anything on my phone, but like some days in the week, like it's just really boring to work on my breaks or whatever. I'm like, I'll give this a shot.
You don't play Clash of Clans or any card
No,
games?
I don't play any of those anymore. I used to play a lot of Clash of Clans, and I don't play any of that anymore. Or nothing else on my phone. But I just picked this up because them guys were playing it there on their lunch, and you can play
Yeah.
each other. So you can do a random like wager with the friends, like a gun if you install the game. I think I linked it to my Facebook as the like you can get an official profile picture and stuff that way, or you'll just be a guest.
Oh,
Because
right,
then
with the
you
code.
can
Yeah,
find
I like
friends.
that.
Yeah, you can find friends, and then you can actually issue them a challenge. Like I could play you, Gunny, for whatever we could wager. Whoever has the lowest amount of coins. Say if you only have 300 coins and I have like 5,000 coins, we could wager a round for like 300 coins. And if
You
we
can take
win,
all
you
my
would get
coins because you're a pro at this.
You're right, yeah. But, you could but what happened with, with me, it was like one of my friends helped me out. He's like, "Okay, I'll just lose on purpose," and you get those extra coins. But
Or you could let me win, right? Because I'm
yeah,
Gunny.
so
I'm
he
baby
would he
mode.
he would lose on purpose, and then he gave me his coins basically, just helping me out.
Yay!
And just help me upgrade a couple clubs a little faster. But it still depends. Like you can win a lot of rounds and still get lots of money. But if you don't have the cards, like the little chest, you get these little chests, and when you open them up, you get cards in them. You can't upgrade the clubs until you get the chest and the card with enough points for that club to unlock it. And of course, the chest, typical phone game is they're timed. So the one chest is like half hour, and there's a chest that's like 4 hours until after you start the opening process. And there's one that's 8 hours, and that's the biggest one I've had so far. It's like 8 hours long. But I think there's ones that are even longer down the road. So you just kind of have to know you can just hit the process of opening it, and you just gotta wait like 8 hours till like the next day you can just check it. But it's been fun. That's pretty much all I've been playing. I've been kind of on the run a little bit between work and just a couple times I had some free time. I ended up going to like a baseball game. I think that was like 2 Saturdays ago, the same day you did, Jesus, or like the day
Yeah.
before you did, and stuff like that. I went to a car event one weekend, watching a bunch of people race and stuff. But that was it.
Nice.
That's all I've been
Uh,
playing.
a couple things before I start talking about what I've been playing, but Mayo, I think it's a game I was like when when I'm listening to podcasts and watching my YouTubes and my Reddits and everything. I'm always up to date on all things gaming. But if any interest at all in that game, Stellar Blade, I don't know if you're into the hack and slashes, or I know this game came out a couple months ago for PlayStation. I don't know if it's on
Yeah, that was the
Steam
one
or
that's a
not. Huh?
They had a demo for that one, right?
There probably is. Again, I know it was a PlayStation exclusive, so I was wondering if you had any interest in checking that one out. I don't know if it's more Souls-like but yeah, something I believe that's not on Steam, but just something to check out
Yeah.
for
I actually checked
PlayStation.
this out. There was a demo on the PS5, and you get to play a little bit. I did check this out. I want to say
Okay.
when that demo first came out right away. I remember everybody was talking about it because of the physics, and this is one that had the girl that they said was like looked too good, right? The
Yeah,
model, like
yeah.
the actor looked too perfect supposedly, and then they were like it's a real person because they were getting a bunch of heat for her being
Yes.
what was it, like too attractive or something like that, and they were like she's too attractive. They can't be a real person, and
Right,
then they
right. Yeah.
but like
Internet's on
it,
fire. Yeah. But
yeah, it got some publicity for like the physics because we can call it what extra jiggly physics. So
yeah.
people were liking the game because of that. Yeah,
Right.
I did check it out.
We need to be more conclusive. I get it.
Yeah,
Inclusive? I don't know. I forget the word.
it seemed like it was a good game. Wasn't completely my cup of tea, but it didn't to me feel like a full like $70 game. But I felt maybe like it was like a $50 game. But
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, Jesus, I did watch The Boys season 5.
Nice.
I only watched, I think up to
Season 4.
season 4, episode 4, I think is what I watched up to.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's good. It's good. I enjoyed it. So yeah, I think I watched 4 episodes. And
Did you see the one with Starlight and Firecracker when that shit goes down?
I don't remember if I did it. That might be after episode 4.
No,
Um,
that is episode 4. So you didn't watch episode 4. You watch episode 3.
Yeah, yeah. So I know that now this is a very adult show for all the viewers that don't know. And a lot of sexual stuff going on in this game, but
A lot.
yeah, there's a lot of that. So but I mean, even that part where what's his face goes in and catches that dude that the fucking the soup that multiplies, and they're doing some sexual stuff to each other, and then like I know that my wife, like, she's not into that kind of show, and then she just happened to come in and sit down. I'm like, you never watched Boys, did you? But I know my son Kyle, he has watched. He's probably watched season 2, season 5, 4 already, and of course I'm like, look over there, look what they're doing, to each other, and oh my gosh, she's like ready to puke and vomit and stuff, and then like of course I'm laughing my ass off, and I think it was even in that same episode where like they kind of get captured because the smart chick who's like super intelligent, she's like, I got you guys. Like, you didn't think, I wouldn't be, I knew you guys were tailing us. But they're in that room and they're like, yeah, okay, let's fight or whatever. And they all start, duking it out. And like, dude's like, fucking, get away from me, pink eye, get off of me, I was laughing so hard,
Pink guy, I remember that part.
Yeah, he's got pink eye. Yeah, get like crazy. Yeah, good stuff.
No, that's a crazy show, man.
Fucking Highlander. Yeah, he's nutty.
last episode, episode 4 was when Homelander he goes back to the lab where he grew up. Like the
okay, I didn't see that yet.
That shit's crazy. You got to watch that one.
Yeah,
that was a good episode. I like
this
this season compared to the last season. I don't know how they're gonna wrap this story up, dude. In the next, because the next season, season 5, is the last one they said. So I'm thinking, how the fuck are they gonna wrap all this up in one more season after this?
It seems to like there's so many different components and character, different.
Yeah,
characters.
So much different shit going on. Like I'm like, are like half of these people just gonna die by the end of this season or something? Because how are you gonna wrap everything up in one more season? I don't know.
Right. I mean, they're always adding people to the 7, it seems, or there's always candidates to the 7, and
But I mean, I guess they can wrap up the storyline with Homelander and them, and then start a whole new one, right? With like new heroes.
His son can start a new one.
Yes, his son will start the next
new actors.
The next boys or whatever. Whatever the fuck they call it.
Yeah.
Because they already have that other show on the side, the Generation V or whatever, Gen V.
Gen V, so that one of the main characters passed away not too long ago.
The main dude, the black dude, the main guy, he passed away.
He got into a motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
And so they're probably, I'm sure they were well into production on season 2. Not well into it, but I'm sure they had started, so I'm sure they had to stop and kind of, take a different direction.
You have to write him off somehow.
Yeah. I know he's going to be at least in the first couple episodes.
With them being the boys, they'll figure out a way to write him off. Homelander shows up and kills him or something, or somebody else killed them or something, because a lot of people died in that show too,
Yeah.
So they could totally write him off somehow, be like, oh, he died because of this or whatever. Boom.
Yeah. So good stuff. I definitely had to take time away from gaming. Like, I got to watch The Boys. So,
New Game of Thrones is out. New Game of Thrones is out too, by the way.
Oh yes, I think before we started recording last week, I was like, we need to do a watch together on YouTube. What you can do on Discord. But I know you're always on top of that stuff.
What were you saying, Mayo?
Just tonight I started watching a show on Prime. Have you guys ever seen the Terminal List?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
Terminal List. That was the one with
Chris Pratt's in it.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't watch that.
He's a Navy SEAL, right?
Yeah, and then like his whole team
I watched that
set up, and he comes back, and all these things are happening.
Yeah, that show is really good. That one's actually really good because the whole season. If you watch the whole season,
I did watch the whole thing.
That's the story right there. Like the one season is the whole story.
Okay.
So it's really good.
Yeah, 'cause I didn't even know. Like, a girlfriend came home, and I was making some dinner up, and she's like, "Hey, I put this show on." And I thought it was a movie. Like, I'm sitting on the couch with her watching it, and then it like ended like an hour in, and I'm like, "This is a series?" And she was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Damn, I thought this was a movie."
It should have been a movie, right? I mean, they were books. They are books. They're probably Tom Clancy books or something.
Because they had Chris Pratt in it and stuff, and it was well done.
Yeah, he's really good.
So
yeah, it's really well done.
And so I was like, "Oh, we're watching a movie together." Okay.
It's really good though, dude. By the end, it's crazy, like fucking nuts. It's really fucking good. That's actually a really cool show, The Terminal List. If you haven't watched that, watch it.
Yeah, I had to look it up. It came out in like 22, so it's been out for a little while.
I watched that over a year ago.
Yeah.
That one's good. But for what I
watched The Boys.
Yeah.
The Boys is fucking funny though. That shit's good, man. I love that they're talking to Homelander about what they were gonna call his son or whatever, like the superhero name. They're like the Homeboy. I was like, what the
Homeboy.
fuck?
Yeah.
What about Homeboy? Homelander's like, what the fuck? What the fuck kind of name is that for him?
Another favorite part. I knew it was going to happen. Jesus, I knew it when they kind of set up the stage for him becoming the hero or his first save for his son. And then he's like, all right, son. All right. You disarm the bad guy with a gun. Now go ahead and push him, like where he just kind of like barely pushed him, in
Yeah.
rehearsal. The guy just went splat on the wall. I was just, to me, it's like funny, right? Because it's like, all right, yeah, because Homelander's just like really pushing this time, like,
Yeah.
yeah. But he was so distraught and over that, it was just like, oh man, that's fucked up, right?
And
Fucking
Homelander doesn't give
Homelander,
a
such a
fuck.
dick.
Homelander's a straight
What
up
an asshole.
asshole.
They're just
But it's
human.
funny- But no, it's this last episode that you watch, the last one that just came out on Thursday. I think it's episode 4. In that one, when Homelander goes back to where he grew up in the Vought place or whatever, it kind of does a little bit of flashbacks to like his childhood and why he is the way he is, and it kind of like makes you think like Homelander maybe is not as evil as he thinks he is. He's evil, but maybe he could be good if he really set himself to be good. You know what I mean? Like he could be really good.
Was it back in season 1 or 2 where that doctor guy? I'm sure he's dead. So Homelander probably killed him, but like, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think way back to season 1 or 2, but like, is it just the way he treated him? Like, did they do flashbacks to that?
Yeah, it's he goes
They
back.
raised him.
I don't know if it's a doctor. It's a scientist dude that works for Vought, and that's where they. I think that's where they test the abilities of the superheroes or whatever they make. And he pretty much talks to the dude. He tells him like, do you remember what you did to me in this place? Do you remember what happened here? And the guy's like, oh, I was just doing my job. And Homelander's like, yeah, you were doing your job, but I was fucking suffering.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you were doing your job? I was a fucking kid, So it kind of shows you like there's a side of Homelander like maybe he's not doing it just because he's evil. Maybe he wants revenge on how people treated him in the past or something,
And I guess there
bad for
is,
him.
and let's not forget too, but there is that kind of that voice of reason where we even see it, I think, in every season where he talks to the mirror, where there's another conscious in there.
Yeah.
That's like, all right, let's kind of regroup, calm down, relax, let's not kill anybody today,
You're a crazy bastard.
Yeah,
it's
so good.
It's a good show, man. That show is really fucking good. The guy who plays Homelander plays him really fucking well. Like he does a good job playing Homelander, man. They picked a really good guy for that role. He pulls it off really good.
What's Starlight's boyfriend's name? I always forget his name.
Huey.
So if you ever watch, like I follow them on the X Twitter, and I'm sure they show the same things in Facebook where they do these little clips, and I think they're kind of non-scripted. They're not part of the show, right? So Huey he's allowed to do these little clips, like whether they're traveling, to and from different places, and some of them are good and funny, and and everybody's saying hello and hi. But I just fucking love it when Huey, like, he'll just be riding in the car, right? Just normal, like, oh, we're going for lunch or whatever, or going to meet the director. And then, like, he goes over to Homelander and they're just in regular civilian clothes, like just, maybe half makeup or what have you. It's like, all right, Homelander, do you really love me? And then Homelander kind of gets into character a little bit. And then he's like, fuck you, like, just, that's it, like, yeah. Like he thought he was going to be like, say something completely different, but yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny
Good
as
stuff.
fuck. Like they're good. Yeah, they're really good. It's a really good show. I like it a lot. It's kind of sad that the guy one more season left. I'm like, man, because I really like the guy Butcher too. The guy who plays Butcher.
Yeah, he's losing it. We thought Butcher was losing it in the last 2 seasons. Now he's really,
really losing it. This season is really fucked.
Yeah, and Frenchie is just like off the wall with drugs. And
oh yeah, Frenchie too, man.
Yeah, like his focus is no longer on I'll just say Asian chick, right? Because I forgot what she is, but then she's like, that's another thing that's so funny about this show. Are we and I just have to laugh every time. Are we supposed to know sign language? Is that what it is? Are we just supposed to know sign language? No, this show does not give a fuck. It does not care if you know it or don't, and they're not going to tell you what they said.
No, they don't tell you nothing. No,
it's funny. I'm like,
you kind of have to go off of whatever he says, she said.
Yes, yeah, or you have to know sign language.
Yeah, like whatever she said. Yeah, like
I'm like, okay, I'm not running subtitles. What's going on? What is she saying? I don't even know. There was like some times where I'm like, okay, Frenchie never even gave me enough, and I just have to laugh. I'm like, okay, this shows something else, Yeah,
it's really good, man. Like you really see the arc playing out there with Frenchie, what's going on with him, with Butcher, with the kid, or what the fuck is the kid's name? What is Homelander's kid's name?
I don't know. Isn't it? Yeah, I'm terrible.
I don't
with
know. I
names.
forget his name. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I
But I
don't
like
remember
him.
either.
I like that they brought back Black Noir as a fucking
Yeah.
actor. Like,
I
there's
love that he's talking now.
There's somebody playing Black Noir. Did you see the credits in the first episode when they showed Black Noir? You didn't, if you paid attention to the credits, it said Black Noir as Black Noir 2.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it is him, right? It's just now that he talks. Yeah.
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 But apparently it is the same actor that played Black Noir in the first season, except that he talks now. But in the show world, it's somebody they hired to play Black Noir because Black Noir is really dead, right? Like Homelander fucking ripped his heart out or whatever, you know? But fucking this actor guy that they have playing Black Noir is the guy who played the actual Black Noir in the first few seasons or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, and then what did even like the manager chick was like, "Come on, you're not supposed to be talking. Shut the fuck up," you know? Like,
Shut the fuck. Everyone doesn't shut the fuck up. Even A-Train, he's like, "Shut the fuck up. You're not supposed to be talking right now. Like, that's your one thing. You're not supposed to talk."
Just sit here with a 7 and act cool. Yeah.
So I always love that one dude too, the guy who plays the Deep or whatever. He's fucking funny
the Deep.
shit,
He loves that octopus.
I love it too. I fucking laughed when he said, "Hey, you guys think we should be in the safe with the kid or whatever?" And then him and Black Noir in there, they're doing fucking backflips and shit. And then they're doing backflips and karate chops and shit. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And it's like, oh no, Black Noir, what do we do now? That's a hostage. Oh no, what do we do now? And then the little boy shows up. I was fucking laughing like that's so fucking scripted. Like who would, in real life, who would believe that that's actually like a real save going on? You know what I mean? Like
I know. Like really dumb down the acting here, guys.
What do we do now, Mayo? Oh no, they have a hostage. Oh fuck, dude. That show's fucking funny as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, you learn a lot though about Starlight in this season, about like her youth, and you learn about why Firecracker hates her. And you learn a lot about all that shit.
I'm sorry, I did watch that where she talked about her being the whore, you know? She was a slut.
Yeah. And that fucking the beauty pageant that they were in together, or whatever, they were like kids or something. Yeah. They learn about all that, but then you also learn about other shit about Starlight later on, like in the next episode. It gets crazy, man. Like I said, that next episode, it's pretty dark. You learn a lot of shit about everyone's past. It seems to be like a lot of learning of, you learn a lot of things about everyone, and you're like, holy fucking shit! Like this, all of these guys are fucked up. None of them are cool. Like they're all got some fucking issues going on. Butcher's all fucked up. Frenchie's all fucked. Kimiko's all fucked. Fucking even Huey's all fucked up. Starlight's all fucked up too. Homelander's fucked. They're all fucked. All of them. They're all fucking crazy, dude. All of them.
I feel like Starlighter, like I just feel like her compassionate, nice Christian side is just not working, you know? It's just not working for you, Starlight.
No, you need to get crazy out there and start fucking people up.
Yeah.
But I wonder what's going to happen with that head popping chick.
I don't know. I thought she would have been dead a couple seasons ago when she first came out, but she's still going.
I can't tell if she's good or bad. I really can't. I'm like, who's good in this world and who's bad? Like, everyone, like, if I was thinking to myself, if I was Homelander, right, and I knew that the boys, like Butcher and them, were trying to fucking kill me, I would just grab the 7, go up to their little fucking hideout, and kill them all. You know, I'd kill Huey, I'd kill Frenchie, I'd kill Kimiko, I'd kill Butcher. Yeah. I'd just fucking kill them all. Why can't Homelander just go up there and kill them all? Like, this kind of seems weird to me. Like, they all just kind of like, they all hate each other and they all know they're trying to take each other out, but they don't never like, just like Homelander doesn't just say, all right, fuck it, let's just go kill these guys. Like
I know. I think
let's just go do it. Let's just go kill them.
It would be the easiest thing, right? And so the show would be over at that point. But you're right. Like the only time that even came close was, a lot of spoilers here, guys. Sorry. But like where Huey's up there in the ice skating rink. And then he's like, you know what? The head popper was like, what? You're going to kill him? He goes, it's about time I try to kill Huey. But then he just starts lasering the fucking people on the ice skating rink, like, and he's like, God dang it, like I can't get Huey either, like, or maybe he wasn't trying hard enough, or I don't know.
Like, this doesn't make sense to me. Like how Homelander just doesn't go to their fucking hideout. Like I'm sure he could find out where they're hiding, right?
He knows where Butcher lives, right? Because the kid keeps going to Butcher's house.
Yeah, he went to Butcher's fucking house at one point. Like Homelander went to his house. I'm like, if you know where Butcher lives, why don't you just kill him in his sleep? Like, just show up there and kill him. Fucking laser his head off. Boom. Yeah. Your problem is solved, Homelander. Oh, whoa. But I wonder if he doesn't do it because the kid knows Butcher, you know what I mean? And
I know why.
He would know his dad killed him, or like he doesn't want to disappoint the kid, I think.
Yeah, I mean, let's go back to season 2 and 3. I mean, there is that now, okay, let me ask you this, because I just don't know. I'm not 100% sure on this. When Homelander took Butcher's wife, did she go willingly? Were they, you know what I mean? Like, was she a willing participant to have that kid with Homelander or not? I think maybe she was kind of done with Butcher, because he was fucked up and alcoholic. I don't know. Just asshole,
But see, the point, like, what I don't understand, okay, like, they say Homelander had a kid with this chick, and that's a natural born superhero, right? The boy is. He's like the first natural born superhero where he wasn't made in a lab or he wasn't injected with the V bullshit after he was born. But why does Butcher consider him his kid, and why does he care about him so much?
I mean, he doesn't consider him his kid. He just, I guess because of his wife, he loved his wife. And like, right, we saw that over the last several seasons of, he feels like he's partly his kid, but he's not.
I want to know, did Butcher marry that lady after Homelander was gone? Or, like, what the fuck is the deal here? You know what I mean?
Yeah. They never really explained that in season 1 or 2.
Like, never explained that. Like I don't understand the whole reason why Butcher really cares about this kid. And this kid, because this kid knows Butcher. He loves Butcher. He knows who Butcher is and cares about Butcher. But I'm thinking to myself, so did the kid grow up with Butcher, but Homelander is his real dad, and Butcher was just like a stepdad?
Yeah, I mean, I think he just more or less grew up partly with his mother, right? And that remember that compound, but Butcher found the location.
Yeah, and then Homelander found it.
Yeah. So maybe, I mean, I guess there is a compassionate side to Homelander, right? Because he's had hundreds of times that he could have killed Butcher.
He could have killed Butcher in the kitchen in that first episode or whatever.
Maybe he feels bad that he took his wife. Like he's like, I feel sorry for you, Butcher. I'm not going to kill you.
I think he doesn't kill Butcher because the kid. He knows the kid loves Butcher, and he's thinking to himself, I can't just kill Butcher. I have to have a reason to kill him. Like, if he's trying to kill me, then yes, maybe I can kill him then, because he's actively trying to kill me. But if he's just walking down the street and I fucking laser his head off, the kid's gonna know who the fuck killed him. You know what I mean? Like Homelander lasered his head off. Like he's gonna be pissed at me, and I think he wants his kid's love. But he knows he won't get his kid's love if he just kills Butcher. I think that's the whole thing of Butcher still being alive and Homelander just not fucking killing everybody. Like, he could kill Starlight. He could kill all of them probably, if he just showed up and lasered them all or something. But I think the reason he doesn't is because of the kid. He wants the kid to love him, but he doesn't know how to get the kid to love him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we saw that in episode 3.
You even see it now where he's trying to get the kid to like give him all his attention and get the kid to smile and be like him, and he wants the kid to be like him, but he doesn't know how to do it, right? Because he doesn't know how to be a dad because he's just a fucking maniac superhero.
Because he never had a dad.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to be a dad because he grew up like in a fucking lab or something. Like he doesn't know what is what it's like to have a home. Like you're a fucking caring person for you. You know what I mean? And I think he realizes that Butcher was that for the kid, and he can't just kill Butcher because of that. I think that's what it is. But who knows? A lot of the Welcome to the Boys podcast, Mayo. Special guest, Mayo.
Boys.
Mayo, what's your take on the whole Homelander firecracker? And
I don't know who Firecracker is.
What's the other chick? What's the other chick? What's the other girl called?
Beginning of season 2, I think I quit watching.
Oh man, bro, Mayo, you need to get caught up to be on the Boys podcast, okay?
I do. I need to watch this. I'm on vacation this week, so I'm gonna have to binge it.
Catch up.
Yeah, I watched. I remember watching the first season, and I think we were waiting on the second season, and then it came out, and then I watched a couple episodes. I think I remember watching the episode where Homelander like was trying to teach his boy like to fly or something like that. And he like goes to throw him off the
roof.
house. Yeah, that was the
Yes.
last thing I remember
that
about
was
the show.
terrible. That was terrible. That was a little hard for me to watch. Like, even though like he's a superhero, I was like, oh damn, throwing
Yeah.
a child off a roof. Like,
That was the last thing I remember, and it was kind of like they were. I remember who like Black Noir was. I remember him dying. And,
Yeah.
he comes back.
that was a psychedelic episode. Yeah,
Yeah.
good
Yeah, I'll have to
stuff.
give it a watch again. Well, I think I canceled maybe my Amazon, so I didn't have it anymore, so I didn't like re-up it.
Amazon has a lot of good shows. How the fuck are you watching the
But I have.
Terminal List?
Well, that's when the girlfriend and I moved in together. She has
Oh.
Amazon, so I have it on the TV again. So maybe I'll have to go back and watch it now.
Awesome.
Mayo, who doesn't have Amazon Prime, Mayo? Come on, man.
That's the one
Well,
one service
don't
I have
because
is Prime.
I just have her order for me. So I just have all the other subscriptions. I had the Hulu and the Apple
Nice.
TV and the Netflix and all that fun
But
stuff.
yeah, good shows. Anyways, what else, Gunny? What else? Is it news
Let's
time?
talk some video game stuff here, and hopefully we get a boys video game. Oh boy, I thought I hung up on you guys. Nipron just started playing Elden Ring. But speaking of that, Jesus, I don't want to interrupt you earlier, but remember Nipron did have a question. Well, he asked me to play Project Zomboid, via a controller, I think it was. And like, I'm like, okay, well, I will play it on a controller. I'm going to play it on my Steam Deck, because that pretty much is a controller. And boy, that really sucked. I did not like it. So like, could not get into it. It has to be a mouse and a keyboard for me. And one of the things like I do with like, for example, Steam Deck, right, is like if it just plays on the Steam Deck, fine, right? Like I just play with whatever's verified or playable for the most part. I never really get into like any kind of modifications for the controls. Like I don't know how to do it. I have no interest in like changing things. But because one of the things I would have to change is, for example, the right trackpad or whatever. I think I did talk about this before, where I'm like, I have to actually change that to a mouse, to actually play Project Zomboid, to actually get into the menus of things. And it's hard because, when I'm on a mouse and keyboard, right, I'm constantly using that scroll to scroll through items. So yeah, I don't know. It would take some effort on my part to really change that to play it on there. So, but yeah, I'll stick to the other platformers like Hades 2, where it's just more controller friendly.
Yeah.
But yeah, for what I played this week, or the last couple of weeks really, is I started that game that just came out on Game Pass, and I played this on the console, and it's called Still Wakes the Deep. I know we saw this for Summer Games Fest or the Xbox conference. So this is more of the first game that's available on that list. So this is you're on an oil rig. I think is everybody Irish? Oh gosh, I hate to offend anybody. Everybody's saying shite, shite, you cunt. Like, but this is basically a walking simulator. And I thought, yeah, let me check this out. And sure enough, I was like, hey, this game's easy. It's very linear. So yeah, it just kind of starts off with you're just kind of playing as this character. I'm trying to think of his name. Anyway, but like it just starts off, you're talking to other people on the rig and everything's kind of normal. And so basically what happens like this, I don't know what you want to call it, like this fucking alien monster thing just comes and rips through the oil rig. And, that's where it all just kind of turns to shit. And, then it becomes like a real horror game of like, okay, let me just kind of go forward and maybe, really, I don't think you even have any real direction at that point. And there are no like, hey, you have to get to, from point A to point B to do something. But it does kind of become that where like you get to a control room and, you get on the phone with other workers on the rig and they're like, what's going on? What's happening? Like, you need to shut this down, right? You need to get down to the bottom of the fucking oil rig and, to turn something off or to turn a valve. And, so there's that whole dialogue. And then obviously it's a linear path for the most part. But a lot of it is just like, you're climbing ladders, right trigger. And that's one thing like where like, oh, you fell halfway off the ladder, make sure you hold the left trigger, and then it kind of goes into this, not a quick time event, but I guess it is kind of where it's like, okay, now I can continue climbing up and everything's catching on fire. And then there are only a few parts of what, if you've ever played like that Alien Isolation game, where it's more like, hey, I need to get across this room and it's dark. And yeah, you have a flashlight that's on your head. You can turn on and off. I don't think that it so much affects the monster, but it's a lot of like climbing under areas and pipes and stuff. And where you do that, right? And or you might, one of the mechanics is like, oh, you'll pick up an item, whether it's a coffee cup or some kind of flashlight or something, and you throw it across the room, right? So that the monster will then go to that side of the of the area so that you can go the other way. And I don't think it matters really so much if you just run or crawl over there, but you got a short amount of time, to go activate something or to get in through a door or underneath a vent. So yeah, just doing stuff like that. Like that probably happened like 4 or 5 times. And I was like, oh, this is baby mode for me. This is kind of easy. Yeah, I died a couple times because I didn't know where I was supposed to go, like what button I was supposed to push. But yeah, I figured it out, guys. I did all this stuff without YouTube. That's how easy this game was. And yeah, but it had some pretty cool moments to it where it's like, even in the beginning, the helicopter comes, like everybody's going to evacuate. Shit happens, right? You don't get on it. Hey, we need to either, float this oil rig, right? I don't know how the hell you would do that. Well, we need to float it because everything and the oil and the gas are coming and the whole thing's going to explode. It's like, all right, shit. Like, I need to get to another area, like, to fucking make that happen. But again, all linear, so yeah, I actually enjoyed it. I'm not going to spoil the end of it, kind of the conclusion, but really that was so much of the story of the game was just kind of going from A to B to Z to back to A again, and there's no map to the game, right? It's just a linear path. Like, okay, I need to go forward and, go underwater and, but you might have to swim faster, so you don't suffocate or something. I remember actually getting an achievement for, dying underwater because I didn't go fast enough, where there might be some areas of like, oh, I need to come up here to get air for a minute, to continue forward. So yeah, it was a good game. I definitely recommend it. So, and yeah, the ending was okay. I'm sure I'll be talking about it with some people in the group about it, but yeah, highly recommend that on the Game Pass. I think I talked about this last week where I kept saying I was going to get into it. Jesus, that's this shooter game called Izanzo, right? Which is the World War I online shooter game that came to Game Pass. It's on Steam. It's on PlayStation. So this is the Great War on the Italian Front, a sequel to those games called Verdun and Kanderberg. So probably the same developer on those, but I did not like this, Mayo. It just was not in it for me. Especially like whatever single action rifle the fuck you're using in World War I. Like, I was like, oh, let me choose a different class. I felt like I was getting the same kind of weapon, the single shot. I'm trying to think of what it is in World War II, where you just have that like that 5 clip, where you have to take it out and replace it with another 5 clip. It's like, all right, a little slow on the animation side of things, but even like when you shoot it, I'm like, the thing, I don't know if it's just Xbox or whatever. I'm playing with headphones, but it just sounded like, muffled or, like I was like, what the hell, man? This thing should be louder, I don't know. Yeah. And of course, if enemies are coming at you, like it takes time to kind of like, cock the gun again to fire again if you've got 2 enemies. So, and I think it's got like, I don't know the full scope of this game, but it's obviously got like some AI kind of companions that maybe and it could have been the mode that I was playing, like it could have been, the French and somebody else playing against Germans or whatever. Like, because I was shooting at them, I'm like, wait, I guess they're on my side, but these are definitely bots. I can tell. And then I think it does take like friendly fire, against your own teammates or what have you. Because I did see that come across my screen. I'm like, oops, sorry, dude. So
that can be hard. Those games are hard sometimes where you have friendly fire on and you're like, your people like walk in front of you or whatever, or you're just end up shooting your friends back.
Or it's like, well, at least in like Hell Let Loose, I can see everybody's kind of icon above their head, whether they're on your squad or not on your squad. Where I think this game, I don't know if it was really just squad based or, or am I only seeing the icon for people that are in my assault group or whatever, not engineer? I didn't understand that part. I didn't play enough of it. where I have to look at it like I'm just firing over there. Like, okay, I know those are probably enemies. I can see the hit markers, through the smoke or whatever. Like, am I in the correct, area to where I need to be shooting at? I didn't even know some of that stuff. So I got right to the end of the game and I'm like, I don't know, this is stupid. I just gave up. Didn't like it. Not into the World War I shooters. Give me a big old machine gun. Let me play a medic or something. I just want to spray and pay, man.
There you go.
I didn't see anything that had to do with like grenades, but I guess there was another class that did like the aerial bombardments or what have you. Because I didn't die, but I did almost die to kind of those, from the shelling or what have you. So yeah, didn't like it. I uninstalled it. So I know that who was it that really likes this game? Was it Brian? So he said, no, this game's underrated, but I wanted to tell him like, hell let loose. That's where it's at. So wasn't my thing. Couldn't get into it. And then the only other thing really like that I started up today, that the new DLC has come out for Elden Ring's Shadow of the Erd Tree Mayo. So
yeah, been seeing a lot of a couple people talking about it here and there. So have you fired this up yet, or like I just seen you?
I did. I think I played probably about 30 minutes of it, and so one of the things that Bill Gardner said, like, oh my god, this thing is so hard and so difficult. But yeah, as soon as I fired it up, like I run across this thing, like there's like the grace, the fire camp of where you first activate, kind of your spawn point or what have you, and it's like, all right, I'll just continue forward. I think I just got on my horse and just started riding forward, and then there was like this enemy, just a normal looking, I wouldn't say normal looking, but it wasn't like a slow moving enemy. It's like he just wrecked me hard. Like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I'm level 233. What do you think you're doing to me? So, but I did beat him. I got off my horse, and like I kind of buffed myself up a little bit. I'm gonna take this fucker out, So, and I got him. But yeah, I'm still early on. I will say, like, I've been watching a few streams here and there. I don't want too many spoilers of like, where to go, what to do, what to get, like best places to get the newest, swords and buffs and all this horseshit. So like, I want to do a lot of like exploring and, kind of find some things on my own. But
yeah, that's how I usually like to try to do it. I try not to YouTube too much because then I feel like I miss things sometimes. I know if I was on my own, I would miss things as well. But I feel like if I get too focused on just thing after thing of what YouTube tells me to do, I feel like I miss a little bit of the experience of the game. Yeah,
like I know I'm entering a boss, like I'm literally right there. I can even see it. Where I'm like, okay, I don't know anything about this boss. I'm going to try and kill it. I'm already level 233. I'm not so much interested in like, like, oh, I need to get enough fucking souls or whatever to, level up even more. Like, no, I'm going to find some ways to, if this boss kills me, I'll just go out and do some more exploring and find some more graces and other items that I could probably use. So, but one of the things it did tell me, and I know that that Bill had even mentioned this, like there's a couple different ways like to increase your stats or, the way I don't know if it's about leveling up, but just increasing stats on, the different abilities that you have. So, and it did explain it, and I just kind of dismissed it. Like, okay, I get it. I did kind of learn about this a little bit. So, but yeah, I'll and I think these new ways that you maybe increase stats to those abilities, or whether it's your weapons or what have you. I think it even said like, hey, like this is just for this DLC. Like you can't carry it back to the original game or something. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I like it. Yeah. So I'm just keeping my level 233 character that I've had for, last couple of years. And I'm just going to go from there. Like I would hate to start from the very beginning, and have to grind for 10, 15 hours just to get into this DLC. So yeah, it's fun. Like so far, I'm loving it. It's good to be back into Elden Ring. But yeah, that's oh, the other thing I tried out, Mayo, I don't know if you saw this, was that game called Trepang, TREE
No, I have not.
EPPANG or something like that. So there's a number 2 demo out. I think the game is out, but there is a number 2. It's a first person shooter. I don't know if it has multiplayer. I don't think it does. Just more of a linear game. I know Jesus tried this out, but it doesn't have like an aim down sights.
Yeah,
It's
it made
more or
me
less.
sick. Made me sick.
Yeah. So I play with a controller, Mail, and it's a lot of like, you're down in like a basement, but it's like a lot of different rooms and corridors and stuff like that. And they'll throw a lot of enemies at you. And what's that game that like you kind of go invisible a little bit? But so, if I press RB, you're kind of invisible for like, 5 or 6 seconds, and then there's like a, cooldown on that or something. LB is like on a controller is like your flashlight or something. But it's just a normal kind of FPS where it's just right trigger shoot, and X to reload. I think you get grenades. I didn't get any grenades in this demo, but yeah. But so for example, but why the Y button, Mayo, is like kind of this like it's an instant dash, like whatever direction you're facing, and it's fast too. Like you literally watch the screen. I think that's the part that kind of like scrambled my eyeballs like a little bit. I'm like, whoa, like what the hell did I just kind of dash into? This is not a good mechanic. I think that part was maybe I don't know, like I guess if I got really good at it, like, yeah, you just kind of move in a different direction really fast, but you're going down and then up really fast. Like, so not so much of a dash. It is more of a, bend the legs and move forward and spring up again,
It looks good. It looks interesting. Like the video I'm watching on Steam, it looks pretty graphically good and everything. But
Yeah.
it's only like $17 right now, I think.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just single player kind of. I don't know if there's a story to it. You just kind of start off here in this prison thing and going under vents to escape, and eventually you get some weapons and yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I would have rather have had like an aim down sights kind of ability to it.
Alrighty, you guys ready for news?
I'm ready. I'm done, guys. Let's do
It's news time.
Beep, 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 beep.
Elden Ring news real quick. Elden Ring pros are now offering to help beat the key bosses so all players can access Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. That's right, Gunny. If you need help, Gunny,
it won't be me.
You can
I can't help you.
Elden Ring pros. Okay. Get the Elden Ring pros in your team and you'll I don't know.
How are they doing this? Like on PC, I'm sure.
Through the fucking whatever system, the fucking system where you invite players into your thing. Yeah.
I know you can call in other players, so that's probably another way.
Yeah. There's that.
The summoning.
But with that being said, the Witcher developer CD Projekt Red, which long held the record for the best reviewed RPG expansion for their Blood and Wine expansion for The Witcher 3, they recently congratulated From Software for their stellar work because after acknowledging that Elden Ring DLC Shadow of the Erdtree has now stolen that accolade after 8 years, Gunny, 8 years that they held it. They had the best reviewed RPG expansion with the Blood and Wine expansion. They lost it. Now Elden Ring DLC Shadow of the Erdtree has the best reviewed RPG expansion.
Wow. I know it got a 10 from IGN. I didn't look at Metacritic.
Yeah. It says, they said, congratulations to the team. You guys did stellar work, and Elden Ring gets to wear that crown. Now, they said, we have the honor of being the best reviewed expansion for a role-playing game for a long time, and now Elden Ring gets to wear that crown now.
That's awesome. Yeah, they've been working on that since the launch of the game.
Cool. And they said this is the last expansion that, what's his name, George R. Martin would be a part of, I think. So we'll see what the fuck happens there. Maybe he'll do something else. Who knows? In other news, one more news, Gunny. Tango Gameworks positively closed due to changing creative leadership, Xbox head suggests. Head of Xbox Game Studios, Matt Booty, has suggested that the closure of Tango Gameworks was in part due to the forward-looking situation of the studio no longer reflecting their past successes, particularly referencing the changes in creative leadership. In an interview with Variety as part of the Strictly Business podcast, Xbox's current boss spoke out about Shinji Mikami's former studio briefly when asked about its closure. This May, the studio was closed despite the hit release of Hi-Fi Rush just a year before that. He said, there are a lot of things that go into success for a game. What leadership do you have? What creative leadership do you have? Is the team the same that shipped something successfully previously? We have to look at all those things together and ask ourselves, are we set up for success going forward? And while there may have been factors or situations that previously led to success, they might not all still be in place as you look at what you're going to do moving forward. Um, Shinji Mikami, which was the former head of Tango Gameworks, had left the studio early last year after having spent more than a decade ensuring that his future was secure. However, Matt Booty insinuated that a change in personnel is partly responsible for the studio's closure. Mikami is a Capcom veteran, having worked on Devil May Cry and Resident Evil before going on to establish Ghostwire Tokyo and The Evil Within at Tango. Says here, it should be noted that Booty did not directly say it was Mikami's departure from the company that sparked the eventual defunction, and that alternative options were addressed also. With many of our studios, we try to look at options, Booty said. For example, recently had Toys for Bob, a studio that was previously working on Call of Duty titles, go back out and become a new independent studio. And we've announced that we've got a publishing deal with them, and we'll share more about them when it's important. So there's that. Oh well, I don't know. Seems like maybe they thought, a bunch of hobos work here now. We don't need the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it sounds like. I don't know.
Lame.
In other news, move on to some more news here. Banana Game is not a scam, Mayo and Gunny.
I
No,
bought
it's
it.
not.
I bought it for free.
Banana
play it.
Free on Steam.
Banana has taken Steam by storm recently, yesterday knocking Baldur's Gate 3 out of the top 10 most popular games on Valve's platform in terms of peak concurrent players. In Banana, players click on an image of a banana or simply leave the software running to eventually get a banana dropped into their Steam inventory. These bananas can be sold in Steam's marketplace, with some going for pennies, Mayo, while others have gone for a much higher asking price. Since Banana started gaining popularity on Steam, there has been speculation this is all some sort of scam. This concern was exacerbated when it transpired one of the developers behind Banana had previously been involved in a Steam market Bitcoin scam bug. However, other team members have assured the community that the game is not a scam and more content will be coming soon. In a message shared on Discord last night, Banana's CM co-founder, Aesthetic Spartan, released the following statement. They said, as you all have heard by now, the Celions used to be involved in the Steam market Bitcoin scam bug. We did not know about this until recent videos started to point this out, and we had a talk to almost immediately with the whole team about the situation. We gave him the chance to explain the situation to us, and we know he is showing remorse, and he is sorry about what has happened in the past. Aesthetic Spartan said the Banana team has parted ways with the Celions because of this revelation, adding his, quote, inventory has been cleared of any valuable bananas that could have been concerned and or worry the community. The Banana developer went on to state that there is no scamming or a scam going on, and that the remaining members are currently working to update the game. We cannot wait to turn this game into something bigger and better than just a clicker game, they wrote. Please stay on the lookout as we have been and still are working on a large amount of updates to improve the game and let you all do much more with your bananas. There's that.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys seen. I seen earlier today when I was looking on Steam. That was like the number 2 played game right now on Steam. I'm
Yeah.
like, holy cow!
There's like a YouTube channel that I watch that talks about all the free games on Steam that come out. So then I was like, oh, let me go get that. But I haven't played it yet. Just added to the inventory.
I'm gonna go get the best banana and become a millionaire, guys. I'm gonna have $1 million banana.
Is it
tonight.
like a clicker? I didn't know. So I was like, all right.
You either
Yeah,
click
it's
or
kind
you
of
let
like
it run.
was it the My Name Is Mayo game? Like I call it my game. But it's kind of like the same kind of game that you just click on it, and
Yeah.
I think you get rewards for clicking.
Yeah. Okay. No, this is a bunch of shit about Final Fantasy that I don't want to read. Another news: EA executives. Okay, it's just another ordinary day, Gunny and Mayo, and there's been a bunch of stories about industry layoffs. For example, this one right here: Embracer shut down developer of Alone in the Dark. That's right, Embracer has shut down Pieces Interactive, the developer of Alone in the Dark reimagining that arrived earlier this year. The studio is the latest to be closed by the troubled company over the last 10 months. Pieces Interactive websites now only feature a graphic listing 2007 to 2024. Thanks for playing with us. And a short blurb detailing their history. It says Pieces Interactive released over 10 titles on PC, console, and mobile since 2007. Both are own concepts such as Puzzle-Geddon, Threat Nice, Leviathan Warships, Rubber Surf, and Kill to Collect, as well as work for hire titles such as Magicka 2 and several DLCs for Magicka. Our client list includes Paradox Interactive, Hoemi Tecmo, Arrowhead Game Studios, Koch Media, and Race Room Entertainment. In 2017, Pieces Interactive was acquired by Embracer Group after working with the expansion for Titan Quest Ragnarok, and the third expansion for Titan Quest Atlantis. Our latest release was the reimagining of Alone in the Dark. Since Alone in the Dark launched on May 20th to mixed reviews, currently staying at a 63 on Metacritic, so there's that. But yeah, this is the studio that just shut down by Embracer. This is another Embracer shutting down another studio. They shut down 2 more the other week too. This is like the 3rd or 4th one they shut down. Anyways, so with all these shutting downs this year, all right, well over 10,000 developers have lost their job in the last 10 months. Okay, despite having laid off over 670 developers earlier this year, EA has revealed that their top executives earned $60 million over the last financial year, with CEO Andrew Wilson earning a staggering $25.6 million on his own. Wilson's pay packet works out to a $1.3 million in basic salary. Okay, just that little basic salary, Mayo.
Just a
1.3
basic
million.
salary.
Yeah.
Just,
I wonder how he feeds his
poor
kids.
guy. I know, poor guy.
How does he
right?
pay rent?
How does he fuel up his jet with only 1.3 million? Poor guy.
Jet fuel's expensive these days. Come on.
Yeah, $20 million in stock options, and that's from a non-equity incentive plan, and $500,000 of personal security benefits. That is $3.9 million more than Wilson earned last year, as according to the report. He hit all his key strategic and operating objectives this year and oversaw the successful launch of EA Sports Football Club brand after they ditched the FIFA license. So there's that. Some people would say that this increase was well-deserved for Wilson, okay? Because he hit all his goals, Gunny. But, I mean,
He's met all of them, huh?
He also fired 670 people with job cuts. Wow. Okay, wow.
How does he sleep at night, asshole?
In a similar story for many publishers, from Microsoft to Take-Two, who know that cutting staff is an easy way to show profit growth, even if it's simply because they didn't have to spend as much on salaries that year. Ironically, Wilson was also praised for a year of continued employee satisfaction scores above industry benchmarks. All right, yeah.
Are they still the worst company out there? Or is Microsoft?
Listen, this is the year of continued employee satisfaction scores above the industry benchmarks, Gunny. Above.
Oh.
They're happy there. Okay.
Yeah.
They're super happy at EA. The average employee at EA was paid $148,704 last year. But I mean, this number is not really useful because it's skewed because of the pay that's given to the executives. And almost all actual developers earned way less than $148,000 last year. Even so, Wilson managed to take home over 172 times more than the average worker. The second highest earning EA executive was president of EA Entertainment Technology and Central Development, Laura Mayo, who earned over $12 million, while third was Mala Singh, who earned $6.9 million. And her job is Chief People Officer. That's her job.
That's the people officer, huh? She does something with the people. Sounds easy.
I wonder
Human resources? What's going on?
I wonder if she's the one that fires the people. I'm the person that fires everyone.
So well, she probably chooses what 672 people to terminate.
I'm the people officer. What the fuck kind of title is that? Chief People Officer?
Could be human resource related.
Yeah, I guess.
But damn, I'm just thinking like 148,000. Yeah, like I know you guys haven't, but I've been to Redwood City. I know not all employees for EA work there. But yeah, it's an very expensive place to live. So you got to make at least 150,000 to survive there.
But I don't see that number being correct because, like I said, that number is based on an average of all employees, and that's including all the executives that are making like millions.
Yeah, so it's probably closer to 90.
Yeah,
90,000. Which these days, right? They probably assuming they not all own homes or mortgages or but still rent in the Bay Area. It's a lot of money.
All right, more news here. More news. More news. More news. Boop beep boop beep boop. Oh fuck! I clicked that wrong. Midnight Society. All right. Dr. Disrespect's game studio, Mayo. Midnight Society has announced that they have terminated the relationship with Dr. Disrespect.
Breaking news that happened today.
Okay.
About 5 hours ago.
Dr. Disrespect, that doesn't make any sense. That whole line doesn't make any sense. Dr. Disrespect's gaming studio says that they've got ties with Dr. Disrespect.
We call him Dr. D for now.
They're like, we're leaving you. See ya.
On June 21st, 2024, 4 years after his mysterious Twitch ban, a former employee of the Amazon platform shared allegations on social media that Doc was banned for what? Shitting on a minor? What?
What? Sexting a minor? Texting a minor?
Is that sexting a minor? Yeah, that's sexting a minor. Okay. Dr. Disrespect quickly responded, stating that no wrongdoing was found and that Twitch had paid out the rest of his contract. Just 3 days later, Dr. Disrespect's game studio, Midnight Society, have shared that they have cut ties with Doc in order to maintain, quote, our principles and standards as a studio and individuals. On Friday evening, we became aware of an allegation against one of our co-founders, Guy Beam, a.k.a. Dr. Disrespect. We assumed his innocence and began speaking with parties involved, and in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio and individuals, we needed to act. For this reason, we are terminating our relationship with Guy Beam immediately. While these facts are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved, especially the 55 developers and families we have employed along with their community of players. Says here, launched back in December of 2021, Midnight Society consisted of Guy, Dr. Disrespect Beams, alongside Call of Duty and Halo veterans Robert Bowling and Quinn Del Hoyo. The studio announced their first game, Dead Drop, just months later and have been continuously working on it since the last few years. Dr. Disrespect has addressed the recent Twitch ban allegations several times since they first went viral and announced on his June 24th stream that he is taking an indefinite break from streaming at all. He said, quote, but I think, first and foremost, though, I did have a bit of a planned vacation coming up, but I might extend that starting today. It is what it is. People get fatigued. To be honest, I don't know how long my vacation is, but maybe I extend that. We'll see, he said. Wow. What a...
I just watched a YouTube video. I can't remember the YouTuber's name, but he was talking about this. He does like the news, like kind of what's been trending, and he was saying that basically a Twitch employee kind of broke a silence saying that he was banned from Twitch for using some kind of like backdoor app on Twitch. I can't remember what it was. Like a
no, I thought it was the whispers.
Yes, it was like some kind of whisper.
You could whisper anybody, not anybody, but yeah.
But
you basically message them.
I guess like minors or a minor in particular or something like that.
Did it say whether he or she, was it female or male or?
No, they didn't say on there in that YouTube episode, but they were basically kind of explaining, like, and when Disrespect, you made the comment saying like, like he wasn't charged with anything and all that stuff. He never like admits or doesn't admit, he doesn't like try to clear himself right away. He's so like bound by legally, he can't even say like, you would naturally just want to say, hey, I'm innocent, I didn't do this. And he didn't really even say that. He just kind of says, this has all been taken care of. I got paid my money from my contract. It was ending, and they, no wrongdoing kind of thing. But he hasn't really like denied it or said anything else about it. So
yeah, you know what I think happened, Mayo?
That's why.
You know what I think happened possibly?
Twitch to like drop somebody because he was using a reference on there. Like there's people that have different allegations that have happened on Twitch and they just get a small ban. Or Disrespect, got that lifetime ban, and he was one of their biggest streamers at the time. So it had to have been something pretty major. What was you going to say, Gunny?
So okay, so you know what I think possibly happened. Let's go back to what was this, a year or two ago when it happened. I never subscribed to him or whatever, but I remember, following him on, all this stuff on social media, that when it did happen, and of course we were talking about it on this show, where Twitch never said, like, even that day, next day, for the last whatever couple of years, however long it's been, they never said once, right? They never, not even like an inch of what he possibly did wrong. Not even disrespect, even talked about. He just talked about being banned. He never said like what it was or what it could have been or anything. I don't remember if he just said, "Oh, I don't even know," or "They never told me," but not a fucking peep. So go back to a couple days ago. I'm just scrolling through my X feed, and it was just like, "Oh, this former Twitch employee has said that that when I did work there, we did ban a popular streamer for texting, sexting, whatever, someone under the age." And that was pretty much it. Like that person never said like who it was or anything. And I thought, okay, that's kind of strange, right? But then I saw everybody else kind of picking this up as, "Oh, you're talking about Dr. Disrespect. That's who you're referring to. You just don't want to say the name or whatever." And I followed a little bit of it, like even today, about where, he kept getting messages from people and, wanting him to talk about it on his gaming stream. And he got really upset, like, "Hey, I've said what I've said on this issue, and I'm not going to keep fucking talking about it," like the fire is just growing, but I did see other things, Mayo, from people who are in the industry, like major people talking about, wait a minute, hold on. So let's assume for a minute that this was true, that he was texting, sexting, I'll use that term, somebody under the age of whatever, 18. Like, why did Twitch not, at least, I don't know about just contacting the authorities, but at least like come out and say, "Look, he was, texting somebody who was underage and we won't tolerate this," or whatever. Why did they I felt like that was a cover up, right? I really do. And you know why I think that? Because they were probably like, "Oh gosh, this is bad publicity for us at Twitch." And I'm just assuming here, right? That they were probably like, "Look, let's just tell him what he did and, explain to him he can't talk about this because we're going to give him a full payout, but he has to fucking leave quietly and never mention, the reason why we're terminating him." You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's what happened, where it was kind of like, "We're going to do you a solid here.
We're not going to talk about this. We're just going to separate our ways, and
Look, Guy, we're going to
pay you out and go."
That's what I think happened, right? Because even Guy, throughout the whole year, he's just been like, "Yeah, I still don't know why." I'll just go over and do Facebook gaming, or, go on YouTube, or, start my new company, which is this midnight thing, and things are looking up. Let's just, leave this behind us. Yeah, that's what I think happened. I think Twitch really screwed up. So, but I am kind of like, okay, well, why is this former Twitch employee not at least like exposing others at Twitch? Like, like we're just going to bury this thing and not tell anybody in the media what really happened. They're still quiet about it. I haven't checked it yet in the last couple hours, but yeah, I think there's some players in there that really screwed up on this, if it is in fact true.
So I got some more. All right, I got all the deets here now. Okay, we got the final moments, Mayo, of Dr. Disrespect on stream. Okay, everyone believes that this is the moment where he got the message from his studio team or whatever, the team over at his studio, when they messaged him saying, "Hey, we're gonna fire you from the studio, like right now, like you're done."
From Twitch or from the games?
No, he was streaming on Twitch. He was streaming Elden Ring. And
Right. I mean, when he got fired from Twitch, or
no,
I
from the
remember seeing that
studio.
video.
No, there's a clip on here where it shows him. He looks down at a message on his phone or something, and then his attitude just like kind of changes after that. He gets all serious and like he probably realized, "Oh fuck, I'm fucked."
Yeah.
All right,
I'm getting shit canned.
Okay, look. Beam reportedly used a Twitch feature called Whispers to meet up with a minor at TwitchCon. This is what The Verge reported on Monday. It says that this revelation came from a former Twitch employee who worked on the company's trust and safety team. This would corroborate a tweet from another former Twitch employee posted on Friday, making the same accusation, only they did not directly call out Dr. Disrespect. But they said, quote, he got banned because they got caught sexting a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon and the powers that could be read in plain text. Beam took to Twitter on Saturday when the accusations began to spread on social media. He said, I didn't do anything wrong. All this has been probed and settled. Nothing illegal, no wrongdoing was found, and I was paid, he said. Gizmodo then reached out to Beam for any additional comments on the allegation made by a second former Twitch employee, and Twitch also did not immediately respond to a request for a comment. And the former employee behind the latest allegation says a moderation report was filed about the chat between Dr. Disrespect and the minor, which was then investigated by the company. Beam told the Washington Post after his banning that he was given no reason for the action that he was banned, and that he did go on to sue Twitch, but they settled at a court and resolved the matter. And then on Monday, Beam held a short stream where he ended the stream by saying he was taking a break from streaming after feeling burnt out. He said maybe it's time to start something new, something different. But that's right at the moment where Midnight Society announced that they're cutting ties with him and that he's no longer involved with the studio. Damn. Talk about a turn of events like in a whole weekend. Like,
I know. I was watching this thing on Saturday, and then this thing really took off again Monday.
This guy went from being one of the world's most famous streamers, Mayo, to getting banned from one of the most popular platforms to stream on, to bouncing back and streaming on wherever the fuck he was streaming on, YouTube, I assume, or whatever, right? Or where the fuck was he? Facebook, YouTube? I don't know where he was.
I think he went to Facebook first, then to YouTube, maybe? I'm not positive.
Yeah.
Okay. Going to YouTube. Then these things come out that happened a few years ago. And now he's fucking done. So what happens now?
I think what happens now is I think he's got two choices, right? He could come out on social media, make a video, put it on Twitter, Facebook, I don't fucking care where he puts it on, and say, yeah, these allegations are true and here's what really happened. Whether he knew that person was a minor or not knew or whatever, just come out with it. Or just not say jack shit at all and just don't stream anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but you got to either come out with the truth or don't be an entertainer. That's what I think. Either one of those two things have to happen. Go hide in your little house and not fucking stream on anything. Because I think anywhere he goes, right, his own website channel, or if he wants to go to Kick or what, it's just going to keep coming back in his face until he comes out with the truth or addresses these issues head on.
You would think that the company, right, like a gaming, say we have a gaming studio, right? You would think as a company, right, when you're going to investigate something this big, that they would probably have pretty good fucking reason to believe that it's true instead of just firing him, right? Because if they fired him and he's completely innocent of this shit, he never did anything.
Yeah.
They would be committing suicide, right? They'd be committing suicide for the studio. That studio's fucked. They're going to get shut down. But for him, I think that he probably did do something, because for him to just say, oh, I'm taking a break or I'm stepping away or whatever the fuck he said he's doing, right? Going on vacation or whatever the hell. He didn't deny doing anything. Like you said, Gunny.
Like, he hasn't denied anything.
He didn't deny it, right? He didn't say like, oh, this is bullshit. Watch me come back. I'm going to prove to you guys that this is all fucking bullshit. I'm going to fucking sue all these motherfuckers and get my studio back, or I'm going to burn that studio to the fucking ground. Like, he didn't say nothing, right? Like, he just said, I'm going to take a little break. A
little longer vacation than normal. Yeah, I'd be interested.
Going I'm probably going to follow him. Before all this, didn't he have a thing where he was like unfaithful to his wife at the time?
Yes, and somebody shot in his house.
Yeah, and so like
I remember that.
Probably a problem for him, and this is more of that, probably that whole time coming to catching up with him, I guess.
Yeah. Did his wife ever stay with him? By the way, do you remember the end of that saga?
I thought she did, but I don't know if she will now. Like if all this was true and it comes out, I don't know if she would then.
Yeah, I think he needs to find a new career, not in this industry or show business, or
Because I mean, with the allegations, they had to fire him, dude. I mean,
Yes.
How do you go as a studio? Listen, how do you go as a studio to a hedge fund or something, like some investors, right? And be like, hey, we need investing money. We're working on this game. And like, hey, aren't you the guy that was sexting that kid trying to meet up with her at TwitCon? No, that's not him. Like how the fuck do you like? They had to let him go, right? Because
that guy had on a fake mustache and wig. That was not me.
That's not me. That's not me at all.
Look at me.
Like,
I don't have a wig. I got blonde hair.
Yeah, like how the fuck?
No
Like,
sunglasses.
of course, dude. I mean, like, yeah. I think that time will tell what happened. I think that this eventually will be. You know what he can do? You know what I'm going to say right now? What he can do? Go to Netflix. Go to fucking Netflix right now. Okay, go to fucking Netflix right now, Mayo. Listen, Mayo. You want to make a quick? You want to make a quick $5 million, Mayo?
Always.
Okay, listen, Mayo. If you're Dr. Disrespect right now, go to fucking.
All
right. You go to Netflix and you tell them you want to make a movie about this whole shit. The whole thing. The whole fucking thing. Yeah. You're going to fucking make a movie about how you were a Call of Duty developer and you started streaming on some fucking shit called Twitch and you became really big and then you got banned on Twitch for some crazy shit. Then you cheated on your wife and then you fucking sexted a minor and you're going to meet her at TwitchCon and then you got fired by Twitch and you went to Facebook, then you went to YouTube, then you created a game studio and then it all came back out a few years later and then you got fired again and now you're homeless in Costa Rica somewhere.
And that'll be the end, I think. Yeah. Boom. I guess you can make $5 million.
That'll be yeah, it's a good movie right there. People would watch that.
He's going to be a nighttime security guard somewhere in a industrial park.
What the fuck else do you do, man? I mean, you're wearing his wig and his glasses and his fucking bulletproof vest that he wears,
and he'll be over there going,
he's gonna be wearing
when
that
somebody
vest
shows up.
And those glasses and that fucking wig that he wears. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, it's fucked. That's crazy to see that.
And he thought it was buried,
like downhill,
buried and done. Like, but yeah, I think there's going to be definitely some exposure even at Twitch, right? Yeah. Where they're like, "Oh fuck, this fucking former Twitch employee asshole fucking kind of leaked it." You know, I thought we hit it well enough.
Truly buried until it finally comes out. I mean,
yeah.
And I'm sure other executives. I'm sure other executives have already tweeted out, and I haven't seen it. Like, no, guys. Like, see, we're not required to let the public know of these things. You know, like even when we let a streamer go, it's even if you look in the EULA on terms of agreements, you know, we're not required to let anybody know, you know, what the allegations are or the reasons of why we let these streamers go. We just ban them. And we did the right thing in the end. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think the public, you know, needs to know, should have known. Just the basics, right? I don't need all the stinking details, you know? At least let everybody know what happened.
It's just...
that's a good question.
Are companies required to report illegal stuff?
I think what was said, right? I think...
Like, is Twitch... Is Twitch...
Yeah, it depends on what the context of that conversation was.
Tell the police.
And I'm sure, okay, now that it's out, Jesus, I'm sure, I don't know where the Twitch headquarters is, but I'm sure local authorities, right? Because I'm sure a lot of, you know, we've got at least lawyers and judges and people in that, you know, that know what Twitch is. And they're like, hey, we need to see the transcripts of that message now. Like they'll probably have a warrant or something or bring him up in front of a grand jury to say, all right, we need to see if there was any criminal activity or, you know, that was done here. Or we need that information for whoever he was speaking to, probably a female, right? Like, what's her name? What's her information?
You would think of say something like that concrete goes out and the police knew that he would probably be arrested, you know? So, and we haven't heard anything about that. And that's going to come on the news either way. So maybe Twitch hasn't said anything.
And that's public record, right? A lot of that police stuff. A lot of that is all public record after a certain amount of time, after an investigation has been completed.
I'm wondering, are companies like Twitch and YouTube and shit, are they legally required?
I get it. I think it goes back, Jesus, if you were...
I have no clue, man.
What was in those messages, you know? Because this is official. If these are whispers, right? Those are basically just only that one person can see it on the stream. You know, I think... yeah, it just depends on what was said to that minor.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sure if he just put like, oh, you're really pretty and beautiful and I can't wait to hug you. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, that's probably not illegal. I don't know. I think they would just have to prove that that guy knew she was under 18. That, that thing. I think that's what it boils down to. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he knew for a fact that she was only 16 or something, I think that's really the meat of it, right? To find out.
Now, okay, with all this being said, though, okay, let's say that. Okay,
Yeah,
what do
it's
you
a
guys
little
think the state of the
tarnished, a
game is
little
going to be now
kinda-
for this Midnight Society fucking thing? Like, do you think? Okay, do you think? I mean, I didn't know anything about this shit, and I don't really care to know anything about it at this point, anyways. But do you think that the Doctor Disrespect supporters, because he has them, there's a lot of people on Twitter right now saying that he's innocent until proven guilty. He's innocent. This is all bullshit. There's no real proof. A lot of these are actual streamers saying, can we see some actual proof? We want to see the evidence. We see no evidence. You guys say there's evidence, but there's a lot of people on Twitter saying there's no evidence. So obviously he has a lot of supporters, right? Do you think that this game is now going to be like a failure? Like it's just at some point the studio is going to come out in about 6 months and be like, yeah, we couldn't get any more funding. Yep. This is done. We're closing the studio. We're fucked. Because I mean,
even if they get it out, right, it's going to be review bombed and it's associated with a child predator.
I think the studio really is fucked. Oh, it's going to, that's what I'm saying. Like, exactly. Even if the game does come out, right, Mayo, it's either going to get review bombed by the people that don't like Dr. Disrespect, or it's going to get review bombed by the people that support Dr. Disrespect. So I think what they did by firing him,
correct. Yeah,
they did the right thing, right, by immediately saying, employment.
Hey, and you know what? Here's the other thing, right? If he helped found that company, he's probably just like, he's probably still technically working there. You know what I mean? He's just not going to be the streamer and face of that studio.
Well, do they have to let him go with a certain severance package? Yeah. Like, how much does he own of the company? All right, say there's three people that founded it with him, right? Him and the other two, the Call of Duty guy and the Halo guy. Three of them, right? Say each of them own 33. Each of them own 33.3% of the company when they made it. They brought on a few investors and they each gave up some percentage for the investors, but they still own the majority themselves.
He has to sell it.
And now they have to buy this guy out or get him out somehow. What does that look like for him? Does he make a lot of money off of this? Is it worth nothing at this point because now the fucking shit's worth nothing? I mean, what does it look like for this company? That's what I'm wondering, because they're saying they did this to save the studio and the jobs for 55 families.
Yeah, I think legally they have to. Let's assume that his
55 people they hired at the studio
is $500,000, right? Like, he has to sell it, and I'm sure he'll get the $500,000, right? Because that's what it's valued at. It's not like stock market, right? So it's probably is technically still valued at $500,000.
Yeah,
and he's entitled to that amount, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm wondering at this point.
And right, so that's the other thing too. Is he going to fight this and say, no, I'm not selling it, take me to court? They'll have to go to court, and it'll even be but no, if we know guys MO, he's going to be like, oh, we need to keep this on the down low, and like he's going to be like, I'm selling it, of course, and let's just keep it quiet and keep moving. You know what I mean? Like, that's just his MO, He's going to be like, of course I will. And, it's the right thing to do. And I want to move on from this and sell my portion and go on and do something else. Yeah. Right. Because if he was innocent, he'd be like, hell no, I'm not selling anything. I'm taking this to, the highest court in the land, and I'm completely innocent and nothing ever happened like that. All these allegations are false. Nope. Haven't heard that from him. Not yet, at least.
Yeah.
Nada. No. I don't even have to follow this guy on Twitter, but he's already like tweeting about it. All the people I follow.
I wonder if with that whole thing where he sued Twitch, and they settled out of court,
right?
I'm sure they signed an NDA about it, right? So he probably can't talk about it. So I'm wondering if he's trying to cover his ass too by not saying anything, by saying like, fuck, I can't say I didn't do it because I did it, but I can't say anything about it.
Yeah.
So I just kind of
Sure,
just
he's got
walk
a
away
lawyer.
from all this shit and see what the fuck my lawyer says to do. You know,
Yeah.
because of course he has a lawyer. I would have a fucking. You have that much money, you have to have a lawyer, dude. You know what I mean? You're that popular, you'd have to have a lawyer. Yeah. Who knows what's gonna happen? We'll see. I guess the shit will unfold in the next few weeks, right? So that's it. Could have this today could have been the final stream of
Maybe.
Doctor Disrespect. Could have been the final stream, Mayo. The final one.
People are calling him a pedo now on Twitter.
So if you want to watch the end of his streaming career, I'm telling you, dude, Twitter's crazy. Like half of it is people defending him, and the other half is saying that he should be in jail.
Right.
It's like one or the other, Mayo. There's no in between. Like maybe, there's like no, he should be in jail, or no, he's innocent. He's gonna come back. We're waiting for you, Doc. We're waiting for you, buddy. Like it's like, oh man, like what is it, Mayo? Who's gonna win?
How many followers does he have on YouTube? I wonder right now.
This guy's so divisive.
I'm gonna try and pull.
I don't know.
He's got 4.73 million.
Probably
subscribers.
pretty popular.
Oh
dude.
wow, yeah, good amount.
Yeah, quite a bit of people. Yeah.
And here's on YouTube. The latest from him was 8 hours ago, and that was him playing Elden Ring DLC.
Yeah. Yep. I know. Right before we started recording, I just caught this. Yeah, right when they banned him. Right when they let him go.
Here's another one where it just says 7 hours ago he takes an indefinite break. So yeah, he got a lot of followers on YouTube still, even though he's had allegations before.
Yeah. Hey guys, I got a news story here I wanted to bring up. It's not so much. It was kind of hard to find something because a lot of this is on YouTube. But Mayo, I don't know if you follow Gamers Nexus at all. And I don't know if me and Jesus covered this at all last week.
Been on their stuff for a while, but yeah, I know Gamers Nexus.
Yeah. So one of the things with ASUS, who makes graphics cards, the ROG Ally motherboards and stuff. So I guess it looks like I remember he exposed ASUS in their repair facility or whatever. When you send in your ROG Ally or anything, as far as like them being scammers. So I'll just read a little bit of this. This was all the way back from May, but it just says here, if you've ever had a run-in with ASUS customer service, you're not alone. The Taiwan tech company has developed a notorious reputation for shady business practices and appalling customer support, which I would agree. From Gamers Nexus, like you can go and watch. I would always say watch his videos because man, he really just uncovered a lot of stuff. So this is in-depth Expose. We'll take a deep dive into ASUS's scandal that's been rocking the tech world. We'll look at the real user reviews complaints that exposes ASUS's manipulative repair process. We'll analyze the shocking investigative report from Gamers Nexus that blew the lid off of this scandal, and share some of their personal horror stories with ASUS that left them feeling violated as a customer. So I'll just kind of stop there, but I think I just kind of came across that video, Jesus, of Gamers Nexus, where like a lot of it was just coming in from customers regarding the ROG Ally. When you send something in, whether it's screen's not working properly or the right gyro stick is not working. And he just had this whole list. Gamers Nexus had this whole list of stuff from customers that have contacted Gamers Nexus about, hey, look, I've sent stuff into their customer service. And like, I feel like I'm getting ripped off and scammed from ASUS, like some of the emails and responses that they use. And I'll just kind of talk about the major one here. So one of the things that Gamers Nexus did is they kind of did a setup of, they shipped it from an unknown location, for this to kind of expose their scam. And so I think it was for like something like the left, triggers or something to that effect. I can't remember exactly what it was. I'm trying to think on there what kind of commonly breaks on the ROG Ally. And I think it had something to do with the USB or the SD card reader, excuse me. So to say, the SD card reader is not working, or there's something else just kind of needs repair. So when you ship it off to them, and generally their response is always like, oh, hey, we found a there's like a scratch on the bottom of your ROG Ally. So like we need to replace the whole front plate, which is like $150, right? Which would be on the customer to say, yeah, you're going to owe us like, yeah, yeah. And like, this is all documented. So, and then like,
What?
so he kind of went with the same thing that people were getting scammed off of. And that's what they tried to do. So Gamers Nexus, what they did was they were kind of smart. They had responded with something like, wait, what are you talking about? Like, this screen is all broken or scratched or something. Hey, you broke my screen, Asus. Like, we can't believe you did that or something, you know, or but they were very smart about it, right? And then of course Asus was like, I think they kind of knew it might have been from Gamers Nexus or somebody who was in the know of things. They were like, oh, okay, yeah, no, you're right. Everything's good. Like, we'll just kind of like overlook that scratch or whatever, or that little nick on the front plate, and don't worry about it, and everything's fine. But like their whole process was like, I don't know, just kind of scandalous and shitty. And but kind of moving forward, Mayo, I think it was last week, I was watching part of their video, and man, some of those videos are long from Gamers Nexus. They're like 42 minutes. Like he goes to the headquarters of Asus, which is kind of cool. They invited him over, and he's talking with a lot of the people like in the different departments, you know, kind of face to face, you know, about like, how are we going to treat customers going forward? Oh, very good. We treat them very good now. We will respond very nicely and treat customers good and, you know, address their needs. Yeah. I will do that. You know, like, okay. But I fucking love Gamers Nexus because their YouTube channel is awesome. And they're just like,
They are
you know,
really good. They're
they are really good. And he comes back and he's like, you know what? Like, words are one thing, right? And doing is another, you know, like it was just like, he's not letting up on these guys, which is amazing, right? He's not like, oh, they're going to fix everything and they're going to do better customer service by people.
But I have an update. I have an update for you though, Gunny. Asus now says that they will let you dispute previous warranty claims, and they will finally address the ROG Allies micro SD card reader. Says Asus reputation for customer support has been tarnished, and the company is now pledging a long list of concrete fixes to Gamers Nexus. Chief among them, if you ever been denied a warranty repair or charged for a service that was unnecessary or should have been free, Asus wants to hear from you at a new email address. It claims that those disputes will be processed by Asus' own staff rather than outsourced to customer support agents. And after failing to even acknowledge the ROG Allies handheld SD card reader issues for over a year, the company will finally be issuing a formal statement about this defect next week, Gamers Nexus reported. 1 month ago, Gamers Nexus revealed that Asus would come in some instances charge customers for unwanted and unneeded repairs, among other issues, following the company's tone-deaf response to that investigation. And additional pressure by the YouTube channel, Asus customer support higher-ups sat down face-to-face with Gamers Nexus this week. And here's a list of the concrete promises that resulted from that sit-down. Asus has now a new inbox called Executive Care at Asus.com that they have created specifically to reprocess prior RMAs that customers feel were unfairly classified, were misclassified, or charged for a service that should have been free. Asus has published a timeline for improvements. June 14th is the publication of the email and the template. Asus have promised an email within this month with other changes. Asus has committed to refunds of service charges for unnecessary repairs which customers felt compelled to accept in order to have warranted repair covered, such as unrelated or misclassified CID, customer-induced damage. Asus is committed to refunding shipping charges in scenarios where a warranted repair was part of the RMA. For clarity, if a customer has both an out-of-warranty repair and an in-warranty repair within the same claim, shipping will be covered by Asus. Asus has committed to refunding labor and taxes related to these aforementioned qualifying disputes. Asus has created a new task force, a task force team to retroactively go back through a long history of customer surveys that were negative to try and fix the issues. Asus has now removed the power from repair centers to claim customer-induced damage. Now customer-induced damage claims must go through Asus's team. This will remove some of the financial incentive to fail devices. There is still one but now it won't be motivated as much by speed. Asus is creating a new support center in the United States. This will enable customers to choose between a repair of their board or a faster swap with the refurbished board. This solves an issue where refurbs were the only option in some scenarios previously. And after over a year of refusing to acknowledge a micro SD card reader failure on the ROG Ally, Asus is posting a formal statement about the defect. And Asus will publish a more transparent repair report template in September of 2024. And they're also changing the advanced RMA language to reduce emphasis on physical damage. So there you go. If you want to get a hold of them, email them over there. I know that our boy Nipron has one of these ROG Allies. So Nipron,
Well, at least he hasn't
hasn't said anything
mentioned
well,
it.
Nipron's, I don't think he's
But
had an
yeah,
issue
Nipron,
with it,
check that
has
SD
he?
card
I
reader.
don't think-
Maybe I'll message you about that. But yeah, I think it's really. I don't know.
Make sure this shit works.
So I don't know what iteration or. I know that the Pro or the X version, whatever they're calling it, just came out. It's basically the same thing. I think it's just more storage. Like it's
The
not
super
same
one?
architecture on the chip, and I don't know. I think it's just a little bit of a faster, whatever. Like there's a newer version of it that probably fixed it, but that literally just came out like less than a month ago, 3 weeks ago to be exact. I think. Yeah, but yeah, awesome, man. I think
Gamers Nexus, like they always go to bat, and they throw that hard truth out there sometimes. Like
they do.
they were the same ones that got into it with Linus Tech
Yes.
about them not doing their videos correctly, and they had a whole spiel about that, and then Linus Tech changed the way some of their stuff works. I guess it was like some of the review process.
Yeah. Linus Tech
they
hired like a CEO, they hired a bunch of people, like they did a
Gamers
bunch
Nexus
of
does
different
like
changes
reviews
over
of
there.
product, but they do like really in depth review stuff, and they're not
Yeah.
afraid to call out somebody if they feel like it's wrong. You know, like if it's not what it claims it is or anything like that, even though they get supported by them, it seems like they'll
Yeah.
call it out. You know, because they're a big enough channel now that
Yeah. I remember watching, I was like, oh, I really want this motherboard. And of course, what pops up? Gamers Nexus. And he's like, yeah, like here's all the things of, if you really want to buy this, here's all the things that are not good with it. I'm like, I'm thinking like, did you really have to point out all that stuff, Steve? Come on. No, he's like, this is it, man. This is like black and white. I'm pretty forward on, these reviews. So there's no bullshit here. I was like, all right, fine. Yeah, I think I even put like Steve for president 2024 was like the only comment I left, like this guy's amazing. So good on you guys, man, to fix their customer service. Really appreciate that. So in the future, if I really ever want to get an Asus, like, because that was like one thing where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't think I'll ever get a ROG or, like, yeah, I love this monitor. There's been nothing wrong with it, but man, if I ever want a motherboard, I know I can probably not send this thing over for repair. So, but anyway, guys, I'm going to get going here, guys. I got to get up super early in the morning, but yeah, go find me over on Xbox playing some
We're pretty much done,
Game Pass
Gunny. So
stuff
where can
and
people
Shadow
find
of the
you?
Erd Tree over there, gamer tag Gunny Chief. And yeah, that's pretty much on Steam and everywhere else. Where do we find you, Mayo?
you can find me on Steam, Discord, PlayStation, Xbox, all the gaming accounts is the Mayo or the Mayo one of those two. Jesus.
Oh, find me on everything on Jesus Walks On. I'll be playing some City Skylines 2, some Helldivers 2, some other shit that I bought randomly on CD Keys the other day. I bought like a bunch of shit. I don't even know what I bought. I just started clicking on things. I was like, that looks cool.
The way you do it, Jesus, you just go, what's
That
cool
looks
on
cool.
Steam, and then go to CD Keys and
I'm
see if it's
buying
cheaper.
this. I'm buying
Yeah.
this, man. That's what I do too. I do that too. Yeah, I do that too all the time. I mean, what's trending on Steam? CD Keys, here I come. Woo! The CD Keys is always gonna win most of the time. Most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time. But yeah, find me on everything.
What does Gidget say,
Walks a lot.
Jesus?
Yeah, are we done? Oh, peace out, Brussels sprouts. We'll catch you on the next edition of the Horrible Gamers
Go eat that
Podcast.
tomahawk.
We're out of here. Bye, everyone. Bye. Go eat some steaks. Go eat all the steaks.
The
Oh,
cowboy.
fuck, dude. If you have a tomahawk, take a picture of it. Post it on the Discord. I want to see the tomahawks. Everyone should eat a tomahawk.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's
if
like
you
a
eat that,
26-ounce steak.
that sounds cheap. $25
Yeah,
for
it's
like
crazy
a
how
big
cheap
ass
it
steak.
Right.
That's
Mince
From
meat.
Fallout 76.
what is it, like rat meat or something? What
Rad
is
X
it? Like
meat.
What the fuck kind of meat is that? That's fucking raccoons are killing him from the back or something? What's going on? Yeah, no shit. So that's $1 an ounce. That's really cheap, Gunny. Fuck. You gotta go to Ohio. They got the big steaks with cheap prices.
I'll send you guys.
You think so? Maybe. We'll see.
Bye.
Anyways,
Yeah.
bye everyone. Bye everyone. Bye.